Bernardo Silva says it's another decision that hasn't gone their way.
Well, I've said it after Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, where this season, maybe for a red card, I don't know. It looks like all the 50-50 decisions have gone against us. Our rivals, they've got all the decisions, they go for them, and yeah, we keep fighting. We have to. Today, it's not an excuse because we were really bad. I don't want to make it an excuse. It was for me a red card, but with the performance that we put today, we don't find excuses in that. But the reality is that this season the decisions have gone all against us.
I'm pleased, really pleased he ended it like that, because we didn't hear the question, right? And the question would have been about red cards. We obviously got Opie's answer to that. And it is a red card, right? They got away wrong, you know. There's a red card. There must be many United fans listening to this to agree with me. That is a red card, right? Oh, it's a red card.
Listen,
wow.
No, look, it is a red, but the ball was there to be won, and he hasn't gone in with intent. Now, I can see why VAR said that it wasn't, because the intent was to try and nick the ball. He was trying to nick the ball. Docker was too sharp. He didn't go in to go through the play. He tried to nick the ball, and he's missed it. Now, because it's high, and because it's high, because Docker's got such a low centre of gravity. I'm not saying it's not a red, but there is an argument to say there was a strong yellow.
Orange.
It was an orange. It was an orange.
I'm going to go red. I don't think that's an orange. I think that's a red. But I'm glad, going back to what it's made, I'm glad Bernardo Silva has then, on the back of his answer, has said no excuses. Because the reason that United won today isn't down to that red card. Man City were just not good enough. So that needs to be quantified. You need to say, right, was it a red? Yes. That's not the reason Man City lost the game. Obviously, red can't change games.
Yeah.
But they were good enough. Don't be leaning on that. But it's a red.
Yeah. All right. Remember that Swansea v Birmingham is live on talkSPORT 2 right now. It's currently 1-0 to the Swans. That was a look at some of the main topics of the day, all thanks to Betfair 18+ to begin with.
Topic of the day on talkSPORT with Betfair. 18+ gamblealert.org.
Right, keep your calls coming in on the game day phone in 03 717 22 33
Game day phone in on talkSPORT with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Eurocon. You find $20 million in a stash house. No witnesses, no cameras. Do you take it? Don't miss The Rift, the new edge-of-your-seat thriller from Netflix. Move, go! Starring Matt Damon. You think I want to jack this rent? And Ben Affleck. I don't trust you right now! A life-changing sum of money that could turn good cops bad. Count the money. Count it again. Count on no one. The Rift, now playing only on Netflix.
It's the last chance to get yourself a ticket for tonight's lotto draw.
It could be you.
Lotto. From the National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
The UK's biggest used car sale is on right now at Arnold Clark, with over 20,000 used cars, all reduced. From Kia to Vauxhall, MG to Mazda, and everything in between. Whatever car you're looking for, you'll find a bargain at the real sale. It only happens once a year, and it's on right now. Visit arnoldclark.com to see why it's the biggest used car sale in the UK.
On day 3 of leftovers for lunch, have a day off. Switch it up with a double cheeseburger for $2.49 on the McDonald's Saver menu.
Leftovers left the chat.
Talk about saver satisfaction. Served from 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability.
At AJ Bell, we believe investing is for everyone, even people who know nothing about investing. Like Keith, who thought dividends were a boy band. Jessica, who thought compound interest was a prison dating app. And Sue thought FTSE 100 was a bit of under-the-table fun, which surprised her accountant.
Oh, no.
If we can make investing feel good for them, it's no wonder Which have recommended us 7 years running. AJ Bell, feel good investing. The value of your investments can go up or down.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then... his game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Zone, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
On selected leagues and markets only, applies to singles, multiples, and bet builder bets and qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply
Sportsbook's 10th season exclusions apply. 18 plus. Gamble away for talk.
Game day phone in on talkSPORT with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now, like Wolves versus Newcastle United live tomorrow. Search Now Sports 18 plus with American accent apply.
On the talkSPORT app and on your smart TV. Game day phone in. talkSPORT. The world is listening. It's football on the line.
Bring us up and have a go!
The nation's first golf football phone in. Enter the sports asylum. Game day phone in on talkSPORT.
You're listening to the Game Day phone in on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Horn, Jason Cundy. 03 717 2233 44 is the number to call. Rory Jennings is here from 7:30 taking more calls, including that game of the City Ground between Forest and Arsenal. Then it's over fight night with the 18 and Catterall, Gareth Davies from 9. Now, though, we continue to react to a breathless Saturday of Premier League action here at talkSPORT.
It's Liverpool 1, Burnley 1, and it's Marcus Edwards who's got it this time. He does shoot from a harder position than he was in a few moments ago, and he finds the back of the net. It's a wonderful effort.
And it will be Cole Palmer, surely, to seal the points for Chelsea. And he fires left-footed into the bottom left-hand corner. Chelsea 2, Brentford 0.
And it's the equaliser. It is Tottenham 1, West Ham 1. It's the captain on his return, Christian Romero.
It is Sunderland 2, Crystal Palace 1. The goal machine for Sunderland, Brian Robbie, has hit the ball in the back of the net.
In the first few seconds of stoppage time, Hetcher, who scored in 3 successive defeats in November. He has his 5th of the season. It looks like it may well be the winner. Leeds United 1, Fulham 0.
This is astonishing. It's Tottenham 1, West Ham 2. Callum Wilson, the hero for West Ham in the dying moment.
Huge day of Premier League action across the talkSPORT network. Let's check in now. Chris Hull at the City Ground.
Yes, Jamie, 75 gone, Forest 0, Arsenal 0. The hosts are putting up a fabulous show. But just in the last 15 to 20 minutes, Arsenal have started to go through the gears. About 3 wonderful chances. Declan Rice with a super shot from the edge of the box, which is really well saved by Matt Sells in the Forest goals. Then Sells went one better. It's a terrific one-handed save away to his right-hand side. Saka with the header. And Mourinho on for the suspension as well. He really should score. He's 2 yards out and he heads it wide. Under the lights, on the banks of the Trent. Always special. Forest 0, Arsenal 0.
Yeah, unbelievable day of action. Let's go to Seb, who's a Leeds fan. Right, Seb?
Right, Seb?
Hello, boys, you alright?
Yeah, what performance, what a result.
Well, wasn't it?
Well, you're flying. I mean, fair play to you. You know, you're moving away from the bottom of the table, but you look like a proper decent team.
I mean, I've got to apologise first off, because I was the one who wanted back his head. So I'm on my hands up, and I never knew you two boys were so good at fishing, because we've had some right big fighters tonight, haven't we? Honestly.
What do you mean?
What's going on? I mean, you had Jamie fighting earlier about the Spurs being out, so yeah. And well, yes, but anyway.
Seb, let me ask you a question, Seb. Let me ask you a question, right? Because your season has changed in Manchester when he went to a back 3, right? And Farker has somehow, he has stumbled across this mid-season, and that's fine because he's found a way. It's about finding a way. Managers have got to come up with solutions to problems. And Daniel Farker has managed to find a way to go to 4 at the back 3, and you're getting beat. You're getting beat 1-0 or 2-0 away at Man City. You changed it. I watched it again, and he went to a back 3. And that second half, you were excellent, and he went from there. Now you beat my mob at your place, 3 at the back. Since then, he hasn't looked back. Fucker. Now, honestly, it's unbelievable that just that second half at Manchester City has probably saved your season and almost certainly saved his job.
Hey, I think was it November, December, we played City, Liverpool, you guys, and
But he's found the formula. He's found something that works. I mean, you talk about three at the back that don't work, right? And Glasner's done it. He won, you know, he's done ever so well. They're having problems now. Ruben Amorim, we don't want to go about that, but it's working for fun. You know, the players are bought into it. They trust him. They believe him. Yeah. And he has. It's amazing. You can go all through pre-season. You play all season, going to play 4, or a certain version of that 4, whatever 4-2-3-1, 4-3, where it might be. Now got 3-5-2.
Yeah.
It's working.
We've been calling out for 2 forwards.
Yeah.
In the Fulham game.
I think in the modern day, in the way if you want to get 2 forwards, which we've seen in the Premier League, looks like it's a bit of a throwback this season. To get the modern way of having 2 players playing up front, it's 3-5-2, because 4-4-2 you can get overrun in midfield, but 3-5-2 seems to work.
And it's worked for him. He's found it, and that deserves kudos, actually.
Yeah.
You need to give him, give him huge credit there.
Said thanks for calling. Go to Billy's West Ham fan. Bill.
Billy, what?
Hello, mate.
Alright.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Grundy, mate. How you doing, Jamie? You did one again?
Yeah, great game, mate. Great afternoon. Loved every minute of it.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you what, as a West Ham fan, it's not very often that Tottenham make me smile, but you really did today. It was absolutely brilliant. What are you saying? Do you want to come and Frank out, do you?
He's gone, mate. He's gone for me.
Wasn't it that? I don't know about you in particular, but at the start of the season, I saw a lot of Spurs fans saying that, you know, they've got Thomas the Frank engine in, they're so good, they're so fast, on the cheap, they're going to be getting the Champions League and all that. Now, so Frank out and all this, what's going on?
Yeah, listen, I thought it was a good appointment at the time, but you give managers the opportunity. I thought Graham Potter was a good appointment at Chelsea, but sometimes they just ain't good enough. And I think Thomas Frank has found out that to manage a big club like this, I just don't think you're gonna. He hasn't got the minerals. So, you know, we'll see. Can we go back to Chris Hull, because there's a massive moment in this game, Chris?
Yeah, it's a really big shout, and it's Forest 0, Arsenal 0 at the moment, but there is a VAR review, and it looks like it could very well be I thought it was going to be a spot kick. I thought the referee Oliver might have been pointing to the spot for Hyena's handball, but Forest might have got away with one there, and to be honest with you, Jeremy, they deserve it tonight. They've battled so hard.
Yeah.
But
I'm just seeing that again. Nah, it's not for me. It's not.
I tell you what, Anderson bumps into Hyeina, right? And that's his arm is up. He's not looking at the handball. That would have been unbelievably.
I don't think you can give that.
No, you can't give that. I know I looked at it, and they're right to look at it, but Anderson comes in behind. Hyeina's just trying to take his space, but no, that's not.
They played well, Chris.
It would have been so hard. I mean, they've still got 9 minutes to defend it. Yeah. Declan Rice is just swinging in a corner here, right underneath the crossbar. It's still inside the 6-yard box. It's a bit of pinball, but fortunately for Forest, they get it clear. But in this second half, Arsenal really have moved through the gears. Declan Rice has been fantastic. Matt Sells has pulled off a couple of great saves, and you can probably hear the atmosphere down my microphone. This is special. City Ground is one of the cathedrals of football, and it's a great night. No goals, but fantastic, lads.
Right, thanks, Chris.
Of course, the subs he's made by Arteta. He's got Eze on Marino on Trossard on Jesus on the Saka. It's all attacking. Go. And it adds a difference, but Forest.
Yeah, Forest, fair play to him. Look, just Billy, the West Ham fan, we'll go back to you. Bill, look, it's a massive result for you today. You are still, well, at the moment, you're 4 points adrift. If Forest get a draw, you're 5 points adrift, but huge 3 points.
Yeah, huge. We were, I think it was like 91% chance of getting relegated. Probably is still something like that, to be fair, but I'm pretty sure Forest on the game coming up is really hard. We're also in 4 points adrift. Hopefully we can just keep getting these results, and I know that there's a big question mark there with the future of kind of Wilson and Nuno and stuff like that, but I don't think Nuno's the problem. I feel like getting rid of Nuno, bringing else someone in it, and keeping the owners is like changing the captain on the Titanic but keeping the iceberg. Do you know what I mean? The main problem is the iceberg, which is the owners in the situation. And Wilson has to stay. Like he kind of proved it today. He was on for like 2 minutes, had one shot. Yeah, that was deflected to a corner, and then the next shot he had came to him.
Yeah, 3 touches.
From that corner and scored.
3 touches, won the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a stat as well at Bournemouth early in the season when we were away to Bournemouth. He was the first player to score 2 goals in the first half of football without completing a single pass. Right, it's one of our best finishers, probably him and Bowen. Yeah. Other than that,
I'm amazed that you even contemplate getting rid of him.
maybe get him a proper contract, maybe like another year or something like that. Other than them two, like, Somerville for most of the season looked like he couldn't finish a kids meal, but now they've lost like 2 games. It's actually doing decent, but hopefully he can just get another few more results like that. Keep fighting. Massively might be able to survive relegation, which is cool. I'll take 17th.
Yeah. It's right doing it against Tottenham, though. You've got to do it against Wolves and Forest when you get pumped. You know, it's right playing Tottenham in the cup final of the season, and then you go and get beaten.
Don't be bitter.
No, I'm just saying, you know, it's West Ham do, isn't it?
Just say well done. That's what just say well done West Ham. No, well done West Ham. Oh, just say fine.
It's still garbage, we're still going down. Bill, thanks for your call time. Now for this.
O'Hara and Cundies, weekend winners and losers.
Yeah, that time of the weekend, we're doing our winners and losers. Who's starting, James?
Only one place to start, up the Chelsea, Super Chelsea. Come. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What are you in the wicket?
What do you mean? Liam Senior, first Premier League game ever. Pulled little old Brentford's pants down, giving him a whooping. Whoop. Whack. Whoop. Whack. Whoop.
Get on with it.
So Liam Senior's in there, well done first win. Michael Carrick's got to go in.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got to go in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. By the way, yeah, well done. That's the Man United we expect to see. Now I've got Daniel Farquhar, but I'm going to throw in Nuno Espirito Santo. Rock back at his old. Why are you looking right? Don't get the
He's just changing it. As
No, I'll change it.
Just making it up.
Now Daniel Farquhar, I'm going to go Nuno Espirito Santo. Turning up, putting Spurs' pants down, give him a whooping.
What about losers?
The losers, Thomas the Frank Engine, number one. He's out there on his own, mate. It might be the only time he actually gets in there, win or lose the rest of the season, he'll have your way. So Thomas the Frank Engine is in there on a slot. It's a terrible result. That is Liverpool. They've gone from being the winners of the Premier League last season, pathetic from them, absolutely pathetic turnaround. And what was Glasner, mate?
But Glasner's
in there.
Glasner?
He's going, mate, so it's manager heavy here tonight.
What, Glasner?
Yeah, he's had a stinker of a week. He's had a stinker of a last. Well, this 2026 has been terrible. He had a conversation back in October. Since then, have you seen the results?
Too bad.
Mate.
Yeah, I know, but you know.
The Glasner's in there.
Yeah, he wants out. He wants out.
Yeah, he's gone. He's going. Yeah, these are going to be. Look, they're not going to go down at all, Palace. They've got enough under the belt there, but mate, their season is just. It could implode. It could go from bad to worse.
Yeah,
couldn't it?
Yeah, I think it might be. All right, those are our winners and losers.
O'Hara and Cundies, weekend winners and losers.
Right, let's hear again from Spurs boss Thomas Frank, getting a bit potty mouth with reporters after today's defeat.
I think we put some overall good performances in. Are they through the roof? No. Are they bad? No. Are they enough to get more points we got? Yes. And then when you don't get it, and especially with 2 late goals, right, especially the Bournemouth and this game, against West Ham, both of them could have won. I should have won second half. We didn't. And you lose second last minute. That's just tough.
I know, it does it to you, mate, doesn't it? We all drop F-bombs. He'll do it. He's
under it, mate.
He's under it. I know. He's probably scratching his head as well, because I thought it was a good point. I genuinely did. I said to you, I think it made a lot of sense. It felt right for him at his stage of the career, show what he can do. But it's amazing that coming from like a club like Brentford, it eats you up the Premier League. Mm-hmm. It does, especially the big clubs.
The problem is it's a huge club with massive expectations, but underperforming football players.
Yeah.
And the club in disarray really in terms of where they're going, and so for any manager it's a tough job. You've seen that so many.
He went in there to dare, and he didn't do.
He ain't gone yet.
No, he's not doing. He's not daring.
Alright, keep the calls coming in. We've got full time coming up as well. 0-0. We're going into the final moments there. We'll get back to it. 03717 2233.
Game day phone in on talkSPORT with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Aston Villa versus Everton live tomorrow. Search Now Sports. 18 plus stream on internet terms apply.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post is looking formidable. Then his game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Stop, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples, and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boosts, T's and exclusions apply. 18 plus gambleware.org.
When life gives you that hump day feeling, Deliveroo gives you the fuel to power through with a top-up shop delivered in as little as 20 minutes. Keep the fridge full with your favourite essentials from Co-op, Morrison's and Sainsbury's. And even better, your fresh and chilled groceries are covered with the freshness promised or your money back. Deliveroo, now just got even better. Geographical restrictions, T's and C's and fees apply. Delivery times vary. See app or web for info.
Aldi can't save you from that 6 a.m. boot camp. But they can save you a healthy amount on this Greek yogurt. High total Greek yogurt is $3.75 at Tesco, but Aldi's is just $1.99. Aldi, always finding ways to save.
Whatever your needs, configure your perfect PC or laptop at PC Specialist. Visit pcspecialist.co.uk.
At AJ Bell, we believe every customer deserves brilliant service, which is just one reason we're rated excellent on Trustpilot. And we all trust pilots, with their smooth, captainy voices that make you feel like you'd let them land anywhere they like. Sorry, where was I? Right, AJ Bell, rated excellent by sexy pilots. I mean Trustpilot. I'm a flight risk. AJ Bell, feel good investing. The value of your investments can go up or down.
Hello, I'm a National Lottery scratch card. Over 5 people a second win with me. That's like 30 winners since I started talking. What? 12 more? 14.
20, wow!
Is there a win in store for you? Play your National Lottery scratch card today. Winners is an average. Search Dream Big, play small. Rules apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Game day phone in on talkSPORT with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it. Who's splashing the cash? The January transfer window on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
Listen all day, every day, and stay informed with updates from our network of superior transfer big shots.
And it's sensational.
The January transfer window on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
Super Bowl just around the corner. talkSPORT is giving you and a friend the chance to experience it live.
So you've got until Thursday to enter for the chance to win tickets for the Super Bowl on Sunday 8th of Feb. Return flights to San Francisco, 3 nights accommodation, and spend this in just a few weeks. You can be soaking up the Super Bowl atmosphere and exploring San Fran.
Sounds good. Here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. Lines closed this Thursday, 2026 at 4 p.m. That's when you need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. It's a network promotion. All T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. Right, just an update on the 5:30 Championship game. Is currently 1-1 between Swansea and Birmingham on talkSPORT 2. But now let's look ahead to tomorrow's Premier League action with Sky Sport.
Stay ahead of the game on talkSPORT with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Wolves versus Newcastle live tomorrow. Search Now Sport, 18 plus Sprinkler Internet, terms apply.
Yeah, just 2 games tomorrow. Wolves v Newcastle, Aston Villa v Everton. I'll start with the Wolves-Newcastle game. Wolves have looked a bit better, actually.
They have. They slowly but surely, under Rob Edwards, they might be getting a little bit of a reaction to looks similar.
Yes, super.
They're down. But they might have a little bit of spirit. I mean, sometimes you get these sides that they've been condemned, they know their future. They can be quite dangerous.
Yeah.
They play with a bit more freedom.
Yeah.
And they've got nothing to lose. I still think Newcastle will.
You think?
Yeah.
They've been great, Newcastle.
No, they haven't been great. Yeah, I still think Newcastle a bit too much. It might be a draw, but I'm going to go for Newcastle.
Right, Aston Villa v Everton, obviously another big game. Villa, unbelievable season from them, and they go second.
Yeah, and Everton are. I mean, David Moyes. I mean, I saw them at home to Brentford a couple of weeks ago. They got rumbled 4-2. They are capable of throwing a stinker. I can see a draw in. I see David Moyes rocking waking up and doing David Moyes things.
Really?
Yeah.
Anti-Villa.
But I think, look, the clever money's Villa, right? That's the easy bet. We're going to go for a draw, mate. We'll go, Everton go there and perhaps stick the place out. Just be difficult to break down, difficult to do anything, but I'm going to go for a draw.
Yeah. All right, that was the look ahead to the rest of this weekend's Premier League action. Don't forget that now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Wolves v Newcastle and Aston Villa v Everton live tomorrow. Search now.
Stay ahead of the game on talkSPORT with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Aston Villa versus Everton live tomorrow. Search talkSPORT 18 plus free home internet and terms apply.
Right, let's go to Griff. He's Liverpool fan. Griff.
Right, Griff.
Hi, mate, guys.
Yeah.
Griffy.
Slot.
Yeah,
Well, mate.
anyway, yeah, I'm going to speak to you so much, sir. Yeah, last time you had clowns and violins and everything, but I was right the first time. I was right the first time when Klopp had to go, and then the slot machine come in, and now the slot machine...
He's not getting sacked, is he? That's not that. He's not in that zone yet. There's still plenty to fight for. He's still very much in that hunt for Champions League spot. There's a clutch of teams.
Not challenging for anything. Not challenging for anything. You should be dominating. You know what I mean? After winning, you should be dominating. This isn't...
Probably
If
good
you
enough,
don't talk
though,
about DNA. Well, I think Stevie Wonder can see that.
Let me ask you this, all right? Alonso is now available, which one of my best mates, a Liverpool fan, he messaged me saying, Slot's got to go. He's in the same boat as you. But Alonso, at the end of the season, that may well be it, do you think?
Yeah, fantastic appointment. I remember last time I was moaning about Klopp, I said Graham.
Griff, I'm going to let you go because it is coming up to full time at the City Ground. Chris Hull.
Yes, Jamie, 5 minutes we've played of additional time, and it was 5 minutes on the board, so we're just looking at referee Oliver, and he's deciding how many more seconds he's going to play in this, but the hosts have put up a show of pride and character, and if you can hear the cheers in the background, those cheers resemble the amount of commitment and endeavour Sean Dyche's side have put into this one, because they've given the league leaders a really good game. Cal Hudson-Odoi with a couple of really good chances in the first half. Martinelli in the first half, and Arsenal should have scored just a yard out, and he missed. Declan Rice in the second half had a super performance. He had an effort from the edge of the box, pushed away. Max Sells with a terrific one-handed save away to his right-hand side from Bukayo Saka after Declan Rice took out a delicious cross to the back post. Submarinho should have scored for Arsenal with his head just a couple of yards out, but this point apiece gives Forest a 5-point cushion on the bottom three, and Arsenal now have a 7-point lead over City and Villa at the end of the season. Though, will they see this as 2 points dropped to the City Ground? Forest 0, Arsenal 0.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's a bad point for both. Better point, of course, for Forest down at the bottom, but I think Arsenal will reflect and feel maybe it's a game they should have taken 3. But watching the 90 minutes, actually it's a fair result. It's a fair result. Forest were excellent, really, really good. And Arsenal, it gained another point during the time.
Yeah, but when you look at you look at Man City today get beat, constantly get beat. Could have really stuck the knife in.
Yeah, but you know what? 7 points. That's a good lead, mate. It's a nice lead there. They've got to lose 3 games.
Yeah.
Actually, it's where they're at. They've got to lose 3 games. They've only lost 2 all season. They're one time.
You think it's over?
Well, I fancied them from the first game of the season, but the longer we get through this season now, they're dropping points, City, unconvincing. Here's their last 4 results, City. Draw, loss. Right?
It's not good.
Arsenal's win, draw. They drop points. That's not a bad point for Arsenal. It's a bigger point for Forest. But I think both teams, when they wake up tomorrow morning, I think Arsenal fans go, do you know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
Because Man City haven't closed that gap on us.
No, they haven't. 7 points at the top of the table. Arsenal go into next week. Thank you for all your calls over the last 2 hours. We're back on the Sports Bar Monday night. I'm sure there's going to be lots of
don't worry, mate. Don't worry.
Things lined up on that one, that's for sure. Keep your calls coming in, though. Up next, Rory Jennings taking your calls. 03 717 22 33
Game day phone in.
On talkSPORT with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for a trial. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
This January at Morrison's, get freshly cut prices on batch cooking till payday. Like a 4-pack of Napolina chopped tomatoes, worth £3. Now £2.50. Or chicken breast billets, worth £2.65. Now £2.48. That's freshly cut prices at Morrison's. Morrison's to shop at Morrison's. Majority of stores subject to availability. Prices may vary online and in Morrison's daily. Tomatoes 4 by 400 grams, ends 20th of Jan. Chicken 330 grams.
January. A month of no sun, no carbs, no sugar, and no commission on your investments with IG. That's more like it. Plus, get up to £2,000 cash back when you transfer your portfolio. Search IG.com and start the year the right way. IG. Trade, invest, progress. Your capital is at risk. Other fees may apply. New customers only. Offer valid until 31st of January 2026 on ISA GIA SIP accounts. T's and C's apply.
Let's stop there. Being a soldier, it's exciting. You already know that. What you want to know is, what's in it for me? I wanted to learn leadership skills from the experts.
I wanted to get paid to earn qualifications.
I wanted more confidence. And now look, I'm on the radio. That's what was in it for me.
Get skills, get qualified, get confident. Army, recruiting now, search Army jobs.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And yes, we will build the wall.
The ladies not for turning.
It's going to be a U-turn.
It's going to be a U-turn with Labour.
To be fair about the U-turn, times change, but for over 240 years, the Times and Sunday Times have been on the ground, delivering in-depth, trusted reporting, so you can understand what's really going on. Times change. The Times remains. He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then... his game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Zone, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples, and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boosts, T's and exclusions apply. 18 plus gamblerware.org.
Game day phone in on talkSPORT with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with now. Like Wolves versus Newcastle United live tomorrow. Search now Sports 18 plus for your internet terms apply.
On 10:59 and 10:53, medium wave. Rory Jennings on talkSPORT. Get the tradition of sports radio for discriminating sports enthusiasts. Quick, compulsory, fast, shoot, score. It's game on. The Saturday Sports Asylum with the legendary Rory Jennings on talkSPORT.
What's happening, everyone, and welcome to the Rory Jennings Show on another sensational day of Premier League action. And the full-time whistle has just blown at the City Ground, and Arsenal have been held to a 0-0 draw. It's a weekend where they could have extended their lead at the top of the Premier League table to 7 points. Well, they did, in fact, extend their lead at the top of the table to 7 points, but weirdly, it could feel like a missed opportunity. They had an opportunity to go to 9 points. They could have really pulled away from Man City, and ultimately they haven't taken it. Arsenal fans, do you feel like you had a chance and have ultimately blown it, or does it feel like a good weekend? You have extended the lead over Man City and there is another game out of the way. Are you ruthless enough? Should you have won? But ultimately, is it okay? Elsewhere, it was all joy for West Ham United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yet again. Tottenham fans, I know that you're not happy, and I really do want to hear from you. Please do get in touch. 03717 233 Give me a bell, because I really want to hear your thoughts on Thomas Frank. It feels like it is well and truly over. Losing to West Ham United in what is one of your biggest games of the season, totally and utterly unacceptable. Remember, we're live on YouTube and on your smart TV, but now it's all about you and your opinions. So give us a call on 03717 233 to air your views to the nation on the Rory Jennings phone-in show on talkSPORT. Oh, it has been an amazing day of Premier League action. It really has. There's so much for us to get our teeth into. Manchester United in the opening game of the day were absolutely sublime, sensational stuff. Michael Carrick looking regal on the touchline, and the Stretford end in raptures. Manchester City, it felt like it was a terrible day for them, but because of Arsenal's inefficiencies in front of goal, maybe, just maybe, it's not quite the crisis day for Man City that it could have been. And one of the major reasons is because Arsenal, they just looked a little bit lacklustre in front of goal. And a big reason that they look so lacklustre in front of goal was because of Victor Gyökeres. I've got some stats for you here. Victor Gyökeres, tonight at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest, a team in a perilous position in the Premier League table, he was subbed after 57 minutes. He cost 64 million quid. Tonight's stats: 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots on target, 0 dribbles, 0 key passes, 0 out of 2 ground duels won, 0 out of 5 aerial duels won. It really wasn't a good day at the office for Victor Gyökeres. There was also a moment where it felt like he seized on an opportunity, and Murillo easily tracked him down, hunted him down, and stuffed out any potential danger to the Nottingham Forest goal. We're going straight to the phone lines now. Let's speak to Jack. Jack called 03717 23344. That is the number to call if you want to be live on talkSPORT. How are you, Jack?
Evening, mate. You okay?
Yeah,
not too bad. Not well. I mean, I would have been a lot happier if we was leaving the ground with 3 points, but to be honest, mate, it's a bit of an anti-climax. I know we've gained another point on City, but I'm just thinking of the last 2 performances, mate, against Liverpool, and then tonight, you're looking at a situation where City have picked up both games, and we've had 2 chances to capitalise. And you're talking about, we played against Liverpool, and I don't care what anyone says, there's no sugarcoating it. We're at home, and we're playing against a depleted, weakened Liverpool side, right? So that was a chance we should have gone out, and we could have capitalised, and we could have took advantage, and we could have run them into the ground. And in games like tonight, exactly the same situation. We didn't capitalise and take advantage, and that for me, I get so wound up because throughout the course of the season I keep kidding myself and telling myself, no, maybe this year's going to be a little bit different. I think, our attitude's changed a little bit. We look a little bit different, blah, blah, blah. And it's games like that and the games against Liverpool that confirm to me that we are the same old Arsenal for the past 4 or 5 years.
But Jack, there's one difference.
PTSD.
Jack, there's one difference here. 7 points is a commanding lead, isn't it? We're at the end of January. 7 points is a commanding lead.
It's not. For me, 9 points, right, I'm not saying silly, 9 points for me tonight would in my personal opinion, it would have shut the league out for anyone else and the league was ours. That 7 points, you're still leaving that door slightly open, that you're still giving City a little bit of hope. And people may call me crazy for that, but I don't care. 7 points compared to 9 is the difference is massive.
Can I ask you about the team selection? When I looked at the bench today, Ricardo Saka on the bench, Leandro Trossard on the bench, and I think Trossard, I don't know how highly you rate him, Jack, but I think he's one of the best finishers at your club. I think he could actually be the best finisher at the club.
He's actually my favourite player this year. I've always loved Trossard. He's been one of our best players this year. His goal contributions, I think he's either first or second for top goal contributions for this year, but I love him.
I think he's brilliant. But you had Saka on the bench, Trossard on the bench, Eze on the bench, Jesus on the bench. Do you think it was too weak? Do you think you should have gone more for the jugular?
I mean, to be truthful, I thought he was going to start our usual lineup, having Saka over Madueke. Because, I mean, look, I do like, I'm just hurting now at the minute, because I don't want to say him down too much, because I do love my club, but, I mean, how we've actually started a lot of games this year, sort of like the 65th, 70th minute, that's when we bring on, like, your Maduekes and your Ezes and your Martinellis and then your Jesuses and maybe Havertz, because we've got that rotation. But for me, I did see, so I would have gone with Saka over Madueke, to be truthful, and I would have put Trossard in over Martinelli, personally. But I would have kept Gyökeres, because that's what we've been doing for the whole time, and then I would have brought Jesus on like we did second half, but yeah, I mean, I just think we just started to capitalise again, mate, and I know, like, fair play to Forest, they seem to be okay at home. I know in terms of performances, they're not doing that well compared to what they was last year. They're always going to be that tough, low block team to get through, but I mean, we had a couple of chances. I don't know, Martinelli missed that one, by the way.
Yeah, there was that moment when Gyökeres went through as well, and I expected him to do so much better. That is an excellent call there from Jack. So Arsenal fans, I really do want to hear from you. Do you see it as a point game, or do you see today as 2 points dropped? If nothing else, you have moved yet another point further away from Man City, and that alone, it has to be a good day at the office, doesn't it? Let me know your thoughts. 03717 223344. We're going to speak to Danny now. Danny is a Nottingham Forest fan. Danny, 5 points clear of West Ham United.
Well, it's not enough, Rory, but I'll be honest with you. We rode our luck today. I looked at the team sheet. I too couldn't believe that Saka wasn't starting. But you know what? Today the difference was we just battled and worked hard off the ball. You know.
Yeah, I mean you're a good side. You're a good side. I think Elliot Anderson's an excellent player. You are capable. Like, I don't think Nottingham Forest go down. I think you are right. You rode your luck today, but Arsenal are the best team in the country. You're going to have to ride your luck to get something out of the game. What did you think? Now the game's over, you secured your point. Danny, did you think it was a penalty? Ola Reina?
Listen, I couldn't see that, to be perfectly honest. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. If they'd have given it, I don't know, that would have been our luck. But when we got to that 82 plus, and I just thought, here we go. And we just continued the battle. Yeah, and you talk about Anderson. For me, Hudson-Odoi today played out of his skin. He was absolutely relentless. That side, on the left-hand side, they played really well. The difference with Sangari coming in as a 6 and Olaena on the right-hand side, it just gives us that stability again, and we've been missing it so much. A really good performance, and like you say, I think we're good enough to stay up, but at the end of the day, the truth is in the pudding. When we get to that end, after 38 games, we're still there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you have to be slightly more positive, Danny. Arsenal have won 5 games in a row away from home. Yeah. You managed to stop that, and also the man of the match, a stand-up performer. Bearing in mind some of the glorious footballers that were on the pitch in an Arsenal shirt. The best player on the pitch, in my opinion, was Elliot Anderson.
Yeah. No, I do. Don't get me wrong. I am Mr. Arsenal. But today I went in. I'd have absolutely bit their hand off if they'd have got the draw. But I didn't think that was on the cards. But as we got closer and closer, and the battling that we did, I genuinely thought, wow, we're going to come away with something. And when that whistle went, you could see the Forest fans, they were absolutely shattered. And you can't ask for anymore. The fans there, that's all they want to see. They want to see everybody giving 100%.
And that's what Sean Dyche. That is what Sean Dyche brings to the team. That is what he brings to any team that he's at. And it was a great performance from Nottingham Forest. They got exactly what they wanted out of the game. We're going to speak to Mark now. Mark, the Arsenal fan. Not ideal. You didn't get what you wanted out of the game. But how do you see this one? Is it 2 points dropped, or is it 1 point game?
I think it's a bit both, really. I guess we take a point away, as you would do normally. I thought we looked a bit flat. I thought Elliot Anderson was the best player on the pitch. I thought the whole atmosphere in the ground was flat anyway. I couldn't believe we didn't start with Saka. I think that's been Gyökeres start anyway. Time it away. Just they keep showing praise to him. He's lazy. He hides behind defenders. He just offers me nothing really. We make him the effort to go. He doesn't make the effort when he's there. But I'll take the point. 7 clear now.
Mark, are you on your way home from the ground? Were you at the game?
Yeah, we're just after people boys, just off the ground now. Just driving over.
What was the mood like in the away end at the end?
Frustrated. It was frustrating. I've got to say, as much as your last caller just said about the Forest fans, they were silent. They looked petrified first half. We got frustrated second half. I didn't see the penalty incident, but apparently, from what I've heard, it wasn't Stonewall, but you never know. But didn't tell me more than that. But yeah, we're a bit frustrated. It's frustrating though. Wait again, not score. But Saka not starting a bit of a weird one. The 28, he's either hot or cold. He was pretty cold today, I have to say. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you know what's interesting, Mark? And I don't want this to sound at all patronising, but I sometimes think that perhaps Arsenal fans have forgotten what it takes to win a league. Like, you know the point that you got against Liverpool? Did you see that as a good point, or did you see that as 2 points dropped?
Well, again, I saw it was frustrating. I'm 54, so I've seen this win a league several times.
think it's a good point. You've got a 7-point cushion over Man City with 22 games played. I think it's a really good day, and I do understand the frustrations, Mark, and I do understand where you're coming from, but overall, I think if you offered any Arsenal fan 22 games played, 7 points clear of Manchester City, not winning in the last 4, I think that Arsenal fans should be over the moon with the way that it's going. I appreciate that today does feel like 2 points drop, simply because you saw Man City stumble earlier in the day, and when you watch your rivals stumble, on some definition you have to make the most of it. But ultimately, it's 7 points clear. Now, all eyes are obviously on London. Arsenal failed to score for the second Premier League game running, and Arsenal only picked up a point at Nottingham Forest. Should you be 9 points clear is the question, but you are 7 points clear. Are you disappointed with tonight's team selection and with your shot shy £64 million striker, Victor Gyökeres? And Tottenham fans, I haven't forgotten about you. I really do want to hear from you. Get in touch. 03717223344 is the number to call. I really do want you to have your say on Thomas Frank. The phone lines are open, and I'll be speaking to you next on the Rory Jennings Show on talkSPORT.
Sport. It's in your DNA. That's why at SpreadXPORT you get great offers and features to aid your sports betting, including £30 in free bets when you just place a qualifying £10 fixed odds bet at minimum odds of 1 to 2. Visit spreadx.com/DNA for full terms and conditions. SpreadXPORT. It's in our DNA. 18 plus gambleware.org. Qualifying bets cannot be cashed out early. 1 step will get free £10 fixed odds bets on consecutive days. Free bet stakes not included in any winnings. Free bets must be claimed within 28 days.
You probably didn't know my dad, Robert, but when he was alive, he made a will and left a gift to Macmillan Cancer Support. It means that in many ways he still lives on. The advisor, helping a patient over the phone on Macmillan's support line. Dad made that happen. The nurse, advising a mastectomy patient on what to wear to her son's wedding. That was also because of him. Almost a third of Macmillan's vital services are funded by gifts and wills from people just like my dad and you. So search Macmillan Legacy today and help them do whatever it takes.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And yes, we will build the wall.
The ladies not for turn.
It's going to be a U-turn. It's going to be a U-turn. Labour speak about the U-turn. Times change, but for over 240 years, the Times and Sunday Times have been on the ground, delivering in-depth, trusted reporting, so you can understand what's really going on. Times change. The Times remains.
The UK's biggest used car sale is on right now at Arnold Clark, with over 20,000 used cars, all reduced. From Kia to Vauxhall, MG to Mazda, and everything in between. Whatever car you're looking for, you'll find a bargain at the real sale. It only happens once a year, and it's on right now. Visit arnoldclark.com to see why it's the biggest used car sale in the UK.
On day 3 of leftovers for lunch, have a day off. Switch it up with a double cheeseburger for $2.49 on the McDonald's Saver menu.
Leftovers left the chat.
Talk about saver satisfaction. Served from 11 a.m. Price of participation may vary. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability.
The UK Poker Championship storms back into Nottingham this January with a £500,000 guaranteed main event prize pool. And you can get that starting from just 1 cent by qualifying via step stats at GG Poker. Jump into Centrals before the 20th of January and play your way to online day 1. Make day 2 live in Nottingham via online day 1, and GG Poker will pay for your hotel. A cent in, a shot at a share of $500,000. Head to GG Poker. 18 plus T's and C's apply. Gambleware.org.
The FA Cup on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
Puts it down the right side of the ball. Wonderful goal!
With his daring runs, unstoppable runs, and an eye for goal.
Left-footed volley into the roof of the net.
The road to the FA Cup on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
The calls are coming in thick and fast. Arsenal fans generally don't seem particularly impressed particularly happy, and they do seem to be seeing this 0-0 draw at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest as 2 points dropped. Very rare for me, but I feel like I'm the voice of reason here. You've extended your lead over Manchester City. A 7-point cushion is the stuff dreams are made of. Let's see what Gabby, the Arsenal fan, thinks about all this. Gabby, you're live on talkSPORT.
Hello, Rory. It's your good friend who had the, you said works with the signing of the season, and you still haven't been proven right, even though he got an assist today, lad.
No, I think, do you know what, on that one, I'm ready to rein it in. I'm ready to admit defeat. Gabby, if I remember rightly, you were singing the praises of Victor Gyökeres. Do we call this 1-1?
No, we had an intellectual debate on a guy coming in that was half the price. That's the chess.
Gabby, you played that well. I've admitted defeat and you've manoeuvred. It's usually the other way round.
I've sidestepped it, Rory, mate, if I'm honest.
No, fair play. What do you think?
Do you know what? Well, listen, I was in the West Ham lower Wednesday night watching us concede 2 sloppy goals against you on Wednesday, and I've just sat on the standing part of Forest, and I've had to be quiet for an hour and 90 minutes and not say a dicky, right? And a lot of my friends in our group, the lads, they're fuming. They're absolutely seething, right? But I think people have forgot the notion of what's happened today. The 3 results that have gone on today, Rory, really, we should have lost that with whatever else had gone on today. We have been very, very guilty today. There's 4 or 5 players that were guilty of real good chances today. But I'm not sitting there mad. I'm sitting there thinking, we've kept a clean sheet. We've got a point up on City this weekend. And we've just played 3 away games, and we've got a 4th one in a row in like 12 days, mate. I can't see why people, we're not going to win every game 3, 4, 5-0. The Forest ground, the City ground, is a hard place in previous years to get a result, and they fought for that point tonight. They really did.
See, Gabby, I completely agree with you. I think any time you come up against a Sean Dyche side, it's going to be tough. Going to the City ground, on the trend there, it's always going to be tough. When you're playing a team that are down the bottom, potential relegation fodder, it's going to be tough. They also have some excellent players. Elliot Anderson will be starting for England at a World Cup, in my opinion. Callum Hudson-Odoi is an excellent player. Morgan Gibbs-White is an excellent player. They're really good players. I don't understand how Arsenal fans seem to be quite so angry. I'll tell you what I understand, Gabby. I can rationalise the anxiety of Arsenal fans because of what they've gone through before with Pep Guardiola or whatever else. What I can't really understand is the anger. You're 7 points clear towards the end of January. It's fine, isn't it?
It's game management. I mean, we've got players coming back all the time, Rory, and I think there's been a lot of grumbles this week about Saka and Bucharest having problems and stuff like that, and nobody really knows if there is in-house issues. So today, we could have been going to that game today with all the mumbles and grumbles we've heard, and there could be a case of, actually, lads, we've gone out, we've fought as a team, and we've got a point. We can't. I think it's a bit of a given. I'm going to the Emirates now, away games, and people are thinking we're going to roll every team over. That's not how premierships are won. I'm 42 years of my life, and most seasons there's going to be half a dozen games where you're really going to have to get your teeth stuck in. You know, as a Chelsea fan with Mourinho, how many games did you have to squeeze out?
I completely agree, Gabby. This is what I'm saying, and I felt like I sounded slightly patronising when I was speaking to the previous caller. I didn't want it to sound that way at all. But Arsenal haven't won a league for over 2 decades. In order to win a league, when you play Liverpool, who are the champions, whatever you think of their form, they're the champions and they deserve respect as the champions. If you get a draw against the existing champions, when you're already top of the league, it's not a bad result. If you go away to City and you nick a point on the day when your biggest rival drops 3, you get 1, they drop 3. Again, I don't think it's a bad point. I think that the value of a good point seems to have been lost by Arsenal fans because potentially of their experiences in being chasing Pep Guardiola.
It's when you look at it, Rory, last season, I think every team that went to the City ground would have taken a point before the match with the way they played last season.
Yeah.
Why is it suddenly because they're 17th pick suddenly and they're playing potentially a manager that, I mean, I'll give Forest fans their due because they're not an offensive club. They didn't actually play as low a block as I thought they would. They actually did play better football than a lot of different sides I've seen play against us this year. So that was another thing. I think you have to give Forest credit. If you just sit everybody behind
If he does say it, is he accurate?
I think he's saying it because he starts reflecting his own woes of that club and what they're going through. I've got the clip from me the other night saying after Chelsea, O'Hara, you don't want to turn up Monday night, but has anyone seen if you lose to West Ham? And his words were, they are garbage, we're not going to lose to them. So I know that's deflecting from our result tonight, but...
Okay, Gabby, I'll tell you what, Gabby, let's just say, forget making this about Tottenham. If Jamie O'Hara were to say that Arsenal were lacking a ruthless quality, would he be right or wrong?
I think every team has games where we would all get angry, where we've not been clinical, we've not, and tonight is just one of them nights. But
Gabby, you could be a politician, mate. Yeah, you could be a politician. You've done really well there. That's twice. You've made me admit that I was wrong about Verts when you haven't admitted you were wrong about Gyökeres. I've asked you if I'm horrible to say that you were that you're lacking a ruthless quality. You've managed to divert the question into something else. I think it's fair to say that with Victor Gyökeres up front, you're impotent.
yeah, it's harsh on the lads. I mean, in the sense that he hasn't done it past Sports Lisbon, and you could argue that wasn't a huge league to turn up the flowers like he did. But you know what? I think we've not really got Jesus they're all 7 to potentially 7.5 out of 10s. We haven't got a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
Gabby, last question, right? And you answer this succinctly, please, and honestly. Gabby, do Arsenal win the league in May? Is it a merry month of May for Arsenal?
I really honestly think, Rory, I think it'll be an overreaction for the next few days, but I can tell you something, Arsenal, I believe in my heart and my head that we will be coming away with one big trophy and maybe one small trophy. We could, and I was even saying this earlier as well, it would be ironic that imagine they end up doing a treble after waiting all these years for an actual success.
And I'll tell you what, Gabby, we will cross that imaginary bridge when we get to it. Thank you very much for your call, Gabby. Really good to talk to you. We're going to now cross and speak to Wayne. Wayne is a Tottenham fan. Wayne, Tottenham fans were singing "You're getting sacked in the morning" to their own manager. It's over, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm stuck with him. And I think that's evident. I don't think you can go forward from this. I'm stuck with him. Not because I think he's the greatest manager ever. I think it's just a Tottenham fan all my life. I'm 56 years old. I just get fed up with this whole cycle of you go through, a year and you've got to reset, it goes wrong, and it's just you don't want to go through it again. So I think but it becomes a point whereby, you know what, we can, and it's not just like, get bad days, you can't just, it's an accumulation of so I went with my son today, he's a Liverpool fan, came along, two sons yesterday.
Where did it all go wrong, mate?
Well, probably went wrong after 2019 Champions League. Everybody said, well, he said he'd never seen toxicity or like it. He was shocked at how bad it was.
Well, the thing is, I feel like it's. Do you know what, Wayne? You can correct me if I'm wrong here, but the derby between West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur is incredibly intense. It's bitter. It's aggressive. It's everything you want from a derby, but there is genuine venom. Even the more mild Tottenham fans losing at home to a pitchful West Ham team, that is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back there.
Yeah, I just don't see how he survives after this. I'm sure, I really truly believe the board has really tried to stick with him for probably the reason that I said. They don't want to have to start all over again. I don't believe they have a plan B. This is it. This is what they set their hearts on. However many months ago it was. I've got a funny feeling he is going to go.
You don't think he'll go? Well, you think they're going to persevere with him, mate?
Yeah. It's just crazy because it's the first time I've said it. Yeah. And you can't play like that for as long as we have, and it has been pretty turgid. For as long as we have, and then you play like we did today. To be fair, we weren't too bad early on. Actually, the problem is, it's the smallest thing. A goal's not the smallest thing, but it took that. And it was a pretty nasty deflection and all of that, and he shouldn't have gone to
ultimately, Wayne, do you think it's over for Frank, or can he rescue it? I think that silence there from Wayne tells us everything that we need to know. Now, still to come on talkSPORT this evening, it's the best boxing show on the radio. It's Fight Night with Adam Catterall and Gareth A. Davis. But for now, keep your calls coming in to me on a huge day of Premier League action as Arsenal failed to take advantage of Manchester City's slip-up. Tottenham are in crisis after another defeat, and Oliver Glasner launches an explosive rant about Crystal Palace. 03717223344. I'm looking at the switchboard now. You give that number a bell, there is almost a guarantee that you will be on talkSPORT next.
They are the prodigies of the pitch, the kings and queens of the courts, and the titans of turf and track. But who was the real deal? Every Tuesday morning from 10, join Jim White and Simon Jordan as they nominate the sporting star who's proved to be the real deal of the week. Don't miss the real deal with White and Jordan every Tuesday morning from 10 on talkSPORT with Selco Builders Warehouse. For the latest special offers, pick up this month's real deals in branch or view online at selcobw.com.
Go result. Thanks, Peter. Coming up, we have league action live on Friday night, followed by 3 more games live on Saturday, then 2 more massive games live on Sunday, and don't forget, league action live on Monday night. Then it's over to Europe for the big one, live on Tuesday, then the even bigger one, live on Wednesday, then it's the other European competition.
Sometimes a break isn't a bad idea. So, if ever you want to take time out from betting, use Paddy Power's Take a Break tool to pause your account. Paddy Power. 18 plus to get the lawyer, not
Nothing beats that just but feeling. Because when you book a Jet2 holiday, you start dreaming of pool days and making memories. Get ahead for summer. Book now with just a £60 deposit per person. Choose from our best free child place holidays and save up to £400 per family of 4. Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. Package holidays you can trust. International protected. Subject to availability conditions.
Hear that? It's your Big McDonald's hunger calling, because the Big Arch is back, and this time it's here to stay. With juicy beef, cheddar cheese, and that Big Arch sauce. Hungry? You are now. Order delivery on the McDonald's app. Serve from 11 a.m. Upcharges and fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability, price and participation may vary.
It's one of the biggest sporting spectacles on planet Earth. Super Bowl 60, and you could be there. Enter now at talksport.com/win for the chance to score a fantastic 4-day trip for 2 to the City by the Bay, San Francisco, including tickets to Super Bowl 60 and $2.5 grand in cold hard cash. It's Hail Marys and money. Enter now at talksport.com/win and get set for a gilt-edged trip to the Golden State you'll never forget.
Listen up, football fans. BetMGM brings Vegas entertainment to the biggest games and the biggest names. Because when it comes to betting on football, we're in a league of our own, baby. Offers? Oh, you know we got offers. Like bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM. It's showtime.
New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave. Online, on your mobile, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.
talkSPORT Sports Update with Trusted Trader. Find top-notch tradespeople in your area. All who pass the Trusted Trader 15-point assessment.
talkSPORT.
Good evening, I'm Steve Forbes. Is Oliver Glasner looking for a way out of Palace before the summer?
We're through the European again. We did, and you're selling our kit one day before a Premier League game. We're on the stadium, we're playing with 12 certain players from our original squad for weeks now. That makes it so tough to accept this defeat.
He's already admitted he'll be departing at the end of this season, but following their loss at Sunderland, he hit out with the Selhurst Park hierarchy over the decision to let Mark Gay go to Man City, whilst also referencing Eberechi Eze's switch to Arsenal last year, whilst the Eagles could lose their star striker too, as we understand Jean-Philippe Mateta's reps held talks with Juventus over a switch to Italy. City could do with Gay ASAP after being run ragged by rivals United at Old Trafford, but Pep Guardiola believes it's the lack of proficiency at the top of the pitch that's costing them.
The 3 games we had in Sunderland, Brighton and Chelsea, that was the key. So
we played really good today. We don't deserve an goal line. In the other one, we deserve more, but unfortunately, we could not score the goals up front, and that's why I miss it.
For Michael Carrick, he's told us that it was special to be in charge for a derby win.
I know what it means and what it means to me and my family, obviously. But as a club and the supporters coming today and wanting something, and the players, I think as much as anything, feeling that they were so desperate to do well.
Meanwhile, the pressure's intensified on Thomas Frank after Callum Wilson's stoppage time strike earned West Ham a vital win at Spurs. Elsewhere, drop points for Arsenal at the City Ground as Forest held the Gunners to a goalless draw. Liverpool were also held by Burnley, while there were wins for Chelsea and Leeds. And Nigeria beat Egypt on penalties to claim third place at AFCON. There's plenty more online at talkSPORT.com.
talkSPORT News.
Donald Trump's announced he'll impose 10% import tariffs on all countries, opposed to his plans to take control of Greenland. And Tory leader Kemi Badenoch joined protesters who want proposals for a Chinese mega embassy in London to be scrapped.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Get a free vehicle safety check at all of our 600 centres nationwide to keep you safe on the road. QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
It'll be murky for most of the UK tonight, some clear spells across Northern Ireland and Scotland though.
On DAB, online, on your mobile, on your smart speaker and smart TV. Precision-guided post-match analysis and razor-sharp reaction to the day's biggest games.
He fires it up music.
The Rory Jennings Show on talkSPORT.
What's happening, everyone, and welcome to the Rory Jennings Show. It has been a pulsating day of Premier League action. Thomas Frank is on the brink at Tottenham. Tottenham Hotspur's home support was singing that Thomas Frank will be getting sacked in the morning. That is how toxic it has got at White Hart Lane. Arsenal fans, the ones I've spoken to at least, seem fairly down in the dumps. They seem fairly gutted. It doesn't make sense to me. They've got a 7-point cushion over Man City, and even today, on what's perceived to be a bad day for Arsenal, they've extended the lead at the top of the Premier League to 7 points. There is also a lot going on at Crystal Palace that we're going to get into, and Manchester City, a day that started off so badly for them. There is now a world where it hasn't ended that badly, because they've seen their nearest and dearest title rival drop points as well. We're now live on YouTube and also on Android TV and Google TV. We're even on Prime Video, so come and see us in full HD. But now it's all about you and your opinions. So give me a call, 03717 223344. That's 03717 223344. That way you can air your views to the nation on the Rory Jennings phone-in show on talkSPORT. We're going to go straight back to the phone lines and we are going to speak to Alex, the Arsenal fan. Alex, so you were live on talkSPORT. I've been telling the world that it's not a bad day for Arsenal, but Arsenal fans seem to be disagreeing with me. Where do you sit on that debate?
Obviously, it's not the end of the world that we picked up a point, but I feel like a title-winning team needs to be picking up 3 points in games like this, especially when we've just watched City drop points today against Man United. Obviously, I know the 100's there because of what's happened over the last 3 years. We must be more desperate than ever to win a title now, but as I say, after seeing today's result, I feel like, it's really not good enough.
So what's up? The reason it's not good enough is because you saw your biggest rivals, you saw your nemesis effectively drop points earlier in the day. They got battered in a derby, and you think that you should be rubbing salt into the wound. You should be taking those opportunities and being more ruthless.
Exactly that. Well, when we're watching City drop points, not once but twice, 2 weeks in a row, they've done it 4 weeks in a row, but the last 2 weeks, I really thought we were going to hammer it home against Liverpool last week, the week before the last game, and we didn't. And then today, I mean, of all times for us to be picking up 3 points, it's got to be when City are dropping points. It feels a little bit like the bottle's not there. I don't want to say bottle, I say that word very loosely, but...
So where's it going wrong, Alex? Why are you lacking this ruthless quality? Why are you not stomping on your rivals when they slip up?
It's hard to say. It really is hard to say. And the reason, I know what you're saying with the 7-point gap, it is a healthy gap. And Candy earlier was saying about that 3 losses, and we've only lost 2 games all season. But I don't look at it that way. We can also draw 2 games, and City could win 2 games. Now they've got Gatey in, but they're really bad at the back, but they've just got Gatey in.
he's going to almost definitely stabilise things straight away. He's Premier League proven, he's going to fit straight in, I suspect. And you know, we really needed to make the most of it today. And all it takes is a couple of draws from us and a couple of wins from City, and there's only a couple of points gap. And anything less than a 3-point gap is non-existent in my eyes.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. You've got PTSD because of what Pep Guardiola's done in the past.
Exactly that.
Can I ask you, Alex? Yeah. Is part of the lack of ruthlessness down to Victor Gyökeres being a dud?
See, I'm very split on this. I've been
Alex, you've been so Alex, sorry to interrupt you, but you've been so insightful, you've been so honest, you've been an excellent caller, providing insight and analysis. You're not going to undo all the good work and tell me that Victor Gyökeres isn't a dud, are you?
I would say I have to have patience with him. I have been for a long while, but obviously you would have seen against Chelsea with Saka not squaring the ball to him, and he has had that a lot of the season. He's not been getting the service he should have got, but I do agree with you. He is not good enough. He's definitely not what a £70 million striker should be doing for a potential title-winning team. But you know, he's not good enough. But at the same time, I do see and slightly feel for him that he's not getting the service he could be getting. Or probably did get at Sporting.
It's not the service he's getting at Sporting, it's the players he's playing against. He's playing in the best league in the world, he's playing against the best defenders in the world. If you were the manager for the next game, Alex, do you start Victor Gyökeres?
If Havertz is fully ready to go, then no.
Okay. Just a reminder, this is for anybody who hasn't heard this already. Gyökeres was substituted on the 57th minute. Tonight, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots on target, 0 dribbles, 0 key passes, 0 out of 2 ground duels 1, 0 out of 5 aerial duels 1. I could do all those numbers.
Not good enough. It's not good enough.
Do you think you win the league though, Alex, overall?
I'd like to say yes, but as I say, I'm still not absolutely confident with a 10-point gap.
Fair enough. It's a great call, Alex. Thank you so much for your time. Really, really insightful stuff there. We're going to stay with Arsenal. We're going to cross to Anthony. Anthony, you're live on talkSPORT.
Hello, Rory. How are you? Great show as always.
That's very kind of you, Anthony. Thank you very much. How are you feeling about the game tonight?
I must say, I'm absolutely livid. Absolutely livid. I watched us against Liverpool. That second half was disgraceful. First second half of the season. And then we kind of started well against Forest, should have scored, and done it again this game. And I just want to say, who looks at that penalty ball, that handball, and doesn't think it's not a penalty? Like, how can you look at that and say it's not a penalty? Who is looking at that? I just see is the ref for the game, but who's not told him to go to the monitor there? Because that is honestly scandalous, and that might cost us the league.
Do you know what I would agree with you on, Anthony? I was watching that game, and I'll be totally frank with you. I'm watching the game through the lens of desperately hoping Arsenal do not win the game. But for 90 minutes, I was a Nottingham Forest fan, and the second that it happened, even in the most biased possible way that I would look at the game, obviously I knew it was a penalty. Obviously, Ola Reina has weirdly, for no reason whatsoever, decided to control the ball with his arm. Like, there's just no excuse. It's obviously a penalty.
It's funny, we get called set piece FC and everyone knows how dangerous we are from them. So Ollie Ainer's obviously tried to keep it in play with his arm. It is honest, I cannot believe, and you know what, apology is not good enough. It really, really is not good enough. And Michael Oliver, I'd love to talk to him face to face and just, he's just absolutely, he's very frustrated me tonight. He has.
No, I do agree that the penalty should have been given. But let's just move that side. Arsenal should have won the game in 90 minutes. You know, I'm thinking of, like I said, I was watching it not wanting you to win. And apart from an excellent Bukayo Saka header and a slight goal-mouth scramble that involved Gabriel off a couple of set pieces, I don't really know if you created enough.
I mean, Forest did it to us and played well, but
the best player on the pitch was a Forest player. That tells you the story slightly, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
what did you think of the starting lineup from Mikel Arteta? There was a very strong bench. Bukayo Saka, for example, starting on the bench. Did you think that was a great move?
I don't know. I have a bit of, I don't know. I see a stat the other day and it said we haven't played a Carabao Cup game and an FA Cup game consecutively for years. Like, that doesn't happen. You normally play Prem and Carabao Cup or FA Cup and Prem. So it's obviously hard to kind of rotate in that situation from a Mikel Arteta's point of view. And we did have a tough game. Saka got kicked to bits by Caicedo on Wednesday. And I wasn't angry with the lineup, but you're correct. He just has to do more. And I just cannot wait for Havertz to come back, honestly.
Yeah, I'm fed up pretending that he's good enough to lead the line for Arsenal. I feel like we're being gaslit into believing that he's good enough to lead the line. He's just not that player, is he? He's just not, you know.
He's a great. Honestly, he hasn't had one. I can't remember one time for Arsenal this season he's had a clear-cut chance in front of goal. He has had least space. His pack came out least space by out of everyone in the Premier League. He's had the least space on the ball, something like 3 meters on average, which shows he's getting very tight. Defenders are getting very, very tight here, and he's not had a chance through. And the ball, we still haven't worked the way to give it to him quick enough, because look at him in Portugal. The ball, the first thing everyone done in that team was think where to pick up, give the ball over the top in space, and he would create something. But the way we play, teams are in the 6-yard box, most of them, and Saka's taking far too many touches. And Eze, we're getting so much talk going around Eze not starting and not getting enough minutes. But one, he's played more minutes than he ever has in this time of the season. And two, when he comes on, he doesn't want to get involved, and he's stressing me out because obviously we know what he's got.
Yeah, no, he's a class player. He's a class player, Enrique Eze, no doubt about it. But it is very interesting, Victor Gyökeres, and it was mentioned there by Anthony, scoring goals in the Portuguese league. You know, pinging them in against Santa Clara and Braga doesn't necessarily tell you everything that you need to know about a player. Now, do keep your calls coming into us. 03717 223344. That's the number to call. You could be live on talkSPORT. 03717 223344. Crystal Palace have gone 10 games without a win after defeat at Sunderland, which followed another explosive post-match interview by Oliver Glasner. Palace fans, I would love to know what you think about this and what everything that's going on at Selhurst Park. And Man City fans, was today's Manchester Derby Day defeat a turning point in the title race? 03717 223344. Get your calls coming in. You could be live on talkSPORT on the Rory Jennings Show.
This season, I want to see us have a real shot. Want to see us at full strength. Want a bench that gives us options. Want to get some momentum. Want to do it on a cold, wet night in November. Want to be top at Christmas. Want to beat them on Boxing Day. Want to go ahead in January. Want to put the league table on the grid. Want to hear them say, can they do it this year? Want to listen to their doubters. Want to prove them all wrong. Look them in the eye and say, want to bet? Bet Fred. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
On average, Rift tax refunds get their customers £3,000 back. Search Rift tax refunds today.
When your kid's favourite toy starts to run out of battery power, no need to worry. Your new batteries are already on their way, arriving today with Amazon Prime. Same-day delivery, it's on Prime.
I'm Professor Hamilton, and I like to hunt.
Geographic restrictions, cut-off times and T's and C's apply. Details on product page. It might be cold outside, but things are really warming up at the Wren Winter Sale, with red-hot prices on our high-quality, fully built kitchens and fitted bedrooms. Right now, there's up to 60% off fully built kitchens and all bedroom units, plus up to 7 years interest-free credit. Made for making you feel warm inside, whatever the weather. Wren, made for living. Visit your nearest Wren showroom. Offers apply when you buy 5 or more kitchen units or 3 or more bedroom units. Finance subject to status and minimum spend.
Thanks for the coffee, Sandra. Right. I've got 9 holiday requests to approve, hundreds of CVs to review, now 4 more than you guy, process payroll, and replies to 56 emails. 57, 58. Fancy another coffee, Sandra?
Good thing there's a better way. Employment Heroes all in one system. Puts HR, payroll, hiring and more, all in one place. One system, everything employment. Go to employmentheroes.co.uk to see what else we can do for you.
Flat battery, blown bulb, wipers past their best. The
worry, you can fit it yourself at home. With big brands and low prices, starting from just £1.99 for wipers, £4.99 for bulbs, and batteries from just £39.99, those life journeys don't need to cost the earth. Don't wait for a flat start. Power up, brighten up, clear up with mymotorworld.com. Delivery from just £3.95. mymotorworld.com.
Whether you're screaming from the stands or the sofa, Virgin Bet has even more for you to shout about this season. Because we're giving you a totally free bet builder on any Sunday football match every week this season. Virgin Bet, a good bet. Use Bet Builder free bet on any match this Sunday. Min odds, evens, max one free bet, £1 to £20, except by pop-up. T's and C's apply. Bet responsibly. GambleAware.org. 18+.
Ahoy there, Ian Masker, Monday night in Premier League football on talkSPORT. Not the big breaks for a Sunday South Coast scuffle. Brighton family every one, Ankara from 7. Cars call to £4 for any quick way, matey. Exclusive Monday night Premier League football on talkSPORT.
Manchester United take a 2-0 lead, and of the day that Manchester is at its most divided. It's the red half of the town that looks united.
It's Liverpool 1, Burnley 1, and it's Marcus Edwards who's got it this time. He does shoot from a harder position than he was in a few moments ago, and he finds the back of the net. It's a wonderful effort.
And it will be Cole Palmer, surely, to seal the points for Chelsea. And he fires left footed into the bottom left-hand corner. Chelsea 2, Brentford 0.
It is Sunderland 2, Crystal Palace 1. The goal machine for Sunderland, Brian Robbie, has hit the ball in the back of the net.
In the first few seconds of stoppage time, Betty, who scored in 3 successive defeats in November. He has his 5th of the season. It looks like it may well be the winner. Leeds United 1, Fulham 0.
This is astonishing. It's Tottenham 1, West Ham 2. Callum Wilson, the hero for West Ham in the dying moments. And Arsenal now have a 7-point lead over City and Villa. At the end of the season, though, will they see this as 2 points dropped to the City ground? Forest 0, Arsenal 0.
This is the Rory Jennings phone-in show, and that is how Saturday sounded on talkSPORT. And it all started at lunchtime in the Manchester derby that was live on talkSPORT. It was joy for Michael Carrick. It was misery for Pep Guardiola. Joining me now, I'm honoured to say that it's a good friend of mine. It is Lawrence Bury, better known as Boovie. Lawrence, sir, how are you?
Yeah, very good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well, very well. Obviously, we watched the game together earlier today, and as a die-hard Man City fan, it was a heartbreaker for you. Do you feel that off the back of what we've seen subsequently, we've seen Arsenal play against Nottingham Forest, many would see it as a must-win game. They didn't win that game. Do you now see it as not being as bad a day as it looked earlier in the season, and earlier in the day?
Well, look, they should have beaten Liverpool at home. I think we can say that. It's a Liverpool side that struggled to beat Burnley today. So that's another 2 points. Like, let's be completely real. They should be 11, 12, maybe even 15 points clear, based on how good they've been, how unbelievable their defending squad is. And for some reason, they aren't scoring enough goals, in my opinion, to be further ahead in the title race. There's been a reprieve today. You can't be as bad as City were in the derby wars and go 27 points. It doesn't feel enough, and obviously Aston Villa in the equation as well.
Yeah, I think Arsenal fans would probably agree with you on that. Considering how good they've been, considering how bad you've been, they should have a 12-point gap. The fact that there is only a 7-point gap between the two clubs, considering how good it feels like Arsenal would be and how poor Man City have been, there's got to give you at least room for optimism, hasn't it?
Well, and it's a derby. I mean, that's a game over. All the derbies, the Manchester derbies are now over. It's a tricky away day. It's not an ideal performance. It's really bad. It's not an excuse, but that game is now over. So all the other games for City are, obviously, there's a tricky one at Anfield. There's one against Arsenal at the Etihad right at the end of the season. But in terms of that tricky derby fixture, that's gone. So City will get better, 100%. And you think Gahey comes in, so Menu's still got a lot of time to settle in. You can't justifiably expect him to be putting on a show against Man United. He had a poor game. So he can grow into the role in the next few weeks. And I think it's a major reprieve. I really do. And the other flip side of the argument is that
Arsenal have to go and get the goals themselves. It's not like they're guaranteed to get 10 wins in a row just by default. They have to actually make opportunities. And it's so today, Roars. I don't know how much of the game you watch, but if they don't score from a set piece or a corner, 90% of the attacking outlet from Arsenal is completely nullified. Yes, they had a couple of chances, Martinelli, Gyökeres still on goal, but you do feel the only threat still at this stage in the season for Arsenal is a long throw or a corner. Do you win a title doing that, really?
No, it is interesting. So, over recent weeks, we've seen Manchester City drop points to Sunderland, we've seen Manchester City drop points to Chelsea, drop points to Brighton, and also drop points today to Manchester United. But you are only 7 points behind Arsenal. Does that feel insurmountable to you? Do you feel like you are still capable of winning this Premier League title?
Oh, I've seen worse. I've seen 8 points from surrounding vertical sides going into April, end of March, April, and they bottled it. And City beat Man United in that season. Vincent Kompany left over 4 goals, which isn't too hard to do. He got that big bullet header, Guerrero scored on the final day of the season. This Arsenal side is nowhere near that side quality side. That's a complete run. They haven't got the manager either. So Arsenal lose at the Etihad. So that's pretty good off. So we keep saying 7 points in this conversation, and people online and whatever. They're saying 7 points. It's not 7, it's 4 points. Because City will beat Arsenal at the Etihad and guarantee it. Guarantee it. It should have been a 1-0 win really at the Emirates. Let's be completely real as well. So City win that game at the Etihad. It's only 4 points. Will Arsenal draw a couple of games? 100%.
And when you say 100% there, when you say 100% that Arsenal are going to draw 2 games, they're going to drop points, what are you basing that on? Do you think Arsenal are ultimately going to bottle it? Do you think Mikel Arteta's going to make bad decisions? Do you think Victor Gyökeres is going to cost them in a big moment? Do you think the back line will ultimately concede more goals than it is doing at the moment? Where do you see the vulnerability?
It's that front three. And Martinelli's going to open net basically against Forest. And Gyökeres had a 10-yard head start. You could have given him a 100-yard head start and he still would beat Murillo. I mean, it's insane. It's insane, Roars. He should have at least had a clear shot and goal and he was throwing goal. So look, you look back to Blackburn Rovers, who had a limited side they won it in the 90s. You look back to maybe one of those older Chelsea sides you had that aren't quite the creme de la creme of title winning sides, or maybe Leicester City. But Leicester City had Jamie Vardy. Blackburn had Alan Shearer. I'm trying to think if he maybe Costa
2015 team.
Yeah, it's not quite Drogba, it's not quite maybe a Nelka, but it was a short stint, like, Negredo for Pellegrini. All these guys I'm saying are kind of at the bottom of the ranking in terms of some of the great winners of the Premier League, Dzeko, Balotelli. They're all better than Gyökeres, and they've lifted Premier League titles. So somewhere along the line, he's going to have to change it. You have to take Gyökeres off, and you have to figure out that left wing position, because they can't keep having Martinelli miss chances. He's an impact player from the bench, but Trossard's the only one you can stick out there as well. I think they have to play somewhere in that front three. I think they need a bit of control. They need someone that just gives them that end product. And on his right foot, he can score big goals off of Crystal Palace. He's barely getting a kick. Had about 12 minutes in the game today. You do win the title with that front three. Mark my words.
Okay, good. So let's now take it away from Arsenal. For Man City to win the league, you're confident that Arsenal are going to drop the requisite amount of points. Are you confident that Man City are going to pick them up? Obviously, you're adding Gagey and Semenyo to the team in January. 7 points, so you're going to have to win a lot of games. And as we just pointed out, you're dropping points left, right, and centre at the moment. What's going to change?
You have to figure out the midfield. Rodri today was it was one man in midfield, and then there was 4 attackers, and then 4 defenders, and there was a midfield of 1 today. And like we talk about Ruben Amorim having a double pivot of Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, that isn't enough. 2. But today it was 1 for Pep Guardiola. Bernardo was nowhere near him, and Phil Foden was floating all over the pitch. So for me, in these big games, look, I look at the Etihad, I think it's the back team to pick up a lot of wins with Rodri by himself, and you get Cherokee in there, Foden, etc. In a big away day, maybe it's Bayern Munich away, maybe it's the League Cup final against Arsenal, maybe it's Anfield in a few weeks. It has to be Nico O'Reilly and Rodri, or it has to be Nico Gonzalez and Rodri with Nico O'Reilly at left back. That suddenly looks a lot more powerful, but it can't just be Rodri by himself. It's a little... I feel sorry for the guy. Like, Guardiola's got this guy, and he's got him playing these... Like, even when he got Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, a little bit desperate, wasn't it? I think he came on in the game in the second half and trying to change things a little bit, and against Brighton as well.
even able to tackle them all by himself. Just come back from 2 major injuries. He needs a lot more support in the base that midfield, I'd say.
So you think the midfield is a big issue? What about up front? Like subbing Erling Haaland in a derby when you desperately need goals? It felt like a statement to me. Do you think Erling Haaland will rediscover himself, rediscover his form? Were you disappointed with his contribution today?
No, he was poor, and there comes a moment where you say there are some footballers in the world that are so big that there's not even a manager that can put an arm around him. Like, Guardiola is the biggest manager right now active in football. But Haaland's on a 10-year contract on £500 a week. Like, Guardiola can't even talk to this guy based on the money he's on, based on the legendary status that he's already got as a footballer, based on what he's achieved, the goals that he's got, etc. The only person that can motivate Haaland to really want to be hungry and bully defenders and come short for the ball if the service isn't there, like it was today. The only person that can galvanise yourself when you're the size of Erling Haaland is Erling Haaland. I can't sit on the radio and tell you, oh, Haaland has to do this, that, and the other. Guardiola can't even tell him anything. The only player, he's so protected. He's got so much money coming in, and rightly so, he's the great of the game. But he has to have some self-reflection and go, I have to do a lot more here. I have to do a lot more. I have to show willing. I have to be physical. Yeah, maybe a cut on the face or a cut on the knee. Show up in a battle a little bit, and that's what he's missing today. But he's got a lot of pressure on because we talk about Semenyo. I think Semenyo can play down the middle. And Marmoush comes back as well. So look, he has to start every game, but if it really drops off, he stops scoring. I think there's a lot more pressure in the squad because of Semenyo and Marmoush coming back from AFCON as well.
Booby, final word. Who wins the Premier League title in that?
Like Manchester City, 100%. Arsenal won in 20 years worse. They don't know what it means to win it. And if they bottle it this season, it's the worst capitulation in the history of sport in the country.
Fantastic. Lawrence Booby, thank you so much for finding the time to talk to us. Very confident Manchester City fan there. Now, coming up next, we will hear from 2 very angry managers and take more of your calls. Give me a ring, 03717 23344. It's the Rory Jennings Show on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT Superstar Breakfast.
You wake up late from work, man, you don't want to go. Cause Brazil and Paula haven't finished their show. Pump your volume and make lots of noise. You're listening to the Breakfast Beastie Boys. You gotta rise for the rise.
The original communication from the Breakfast Party Animals. Now on how Rock Brazil and Ray Party Paula on the talkSPORT Superstar Breakfast every Friday morning from 6.
Whoa, yeah. talkSPORT Superstar Breakfast.
Yabba dabba doo, it's the breakfast show for you. Light and breezy, easy. Yabba dabba day, got the hospital on the tail of the freebie. Cheers, guys and girls. It's gonna till December 3rd. It's a double special good. Oh, come. Sing the toast for breakfast song. Stay it on.
Easiest sport and action in the morning.
talkSPORT Superstar Breakfast.
Back tomorrow morning from 6 on the talkSPORT. Young dance 3.
Welcome back. It's a new season, and we're here at the Coral Fan Arena.
It's the Bet Builders pricing up their picks. No goals and 12 guards? All right, have it your way. Oh, and it's a mid-game appearance from the in-play experts. Fingers poised, ready to back a late comeback. Even at 3-0 down, they still believe. It's the fans that make every season spectacular. Coral, we're here for it. 18 plus, T's and C's at public.gambleaware.org.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And yes, we will build the wall.
The ladies not for turning.
It's going to be a U-turn. It's going to be a U-turn. Labour care about the U-turn. Times change, but for over 240 years, the Times and Sunday Times have been on the ground, delivering in-depth, trusted reporting, so you can understand what's really going on. Times change. The Times remains.
January. A month of no sun, no carbs, no sugar, and no commission on your investments with IG. That's not like it.
Plus, get up to £2,000 cash back when you transfer your portfolio. Search IG.com and start the year the right way. IG. Trade, invest, progress. Your capital's at risk. Other fees may apply. New customers only. Offer valid until 31st of January 2026 on ISA GIA SIP accounts. T's and C's apply.
Yorkshire tea. Let everything stand proper. Yorkshire tea. No stress made at your own discretion. Boiled water not included. All months. Milk in second. Always. For exceptions visit, no chance. Not ever. Ever. Best stir clockwise. Except on Tuesdays. Can accept no responsibility for squeezed tea bags left on countertop. Refer to box for details. Best stirred with a spoon, not your finger. Maybe enjoyed outside Yorkshire. Sheep on front of box not included. Norris Small Cottage. Norris Sky. We don't know what the quickest score was. For best results, drink. May contain hot liquid. Blimey.
Michael, welcome back to Manchester United. What convinced the club you were the right man for the job? Your Premier League managerial experience?
No.
Was it your trophy record as a manager?
Well, no.
Right, so, what do you bring?
Well, I've got Fergie's phone number.
United have found their new man, and you can find a completely free bet builder on this weekend's Manchester Derby with Paddy Power.
Pretty much online bet builder. It's only Forex plus match fee bet various from 50p to £50 per customer. T's and C's apply. Easy plus gamblerware.org.
New year means a new round of speculation, signings and spending sprees. As the 2026 trading season kicks off, stay ahead with all the deals with the central transfer window updates on talkSPORT.
And they have been made to pay.
Plus, get the inside track on everything from the club moves worth knowing to where the mega money's going. In one unbeatable transfer news roundup with White and Jordan every morning from 10. Get close on transfer window updates on talkSPORT with Intuit QuickBooks. Tackle your self-assessment with Intuit QuickBooks. Search QuickBooks to find out more.
What you got here for us then, young Egan?
It's talkSPORT's live football, Governor. Where do you want it?
Bleeding hell, it's humongous! Right, take the 110 live Premier League exclusives and knob them over there with the 150 EFL fixtures.
I'm doing it.
Shove them 20 live Carabao Cup matches on top of the 4 Europa and Conference League fixtures.
Oh, flip's sake.
And I think, Egon, that's us done it.
Hear over 500 games of live football on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
What's in this trailer, Governor?
Hells bells, it's another 100 2026 World Cup games.
Blimey, that.
Tell you what, look, shove a top on them and stick them in your brother's locker. Yeah. Setting the tone for the football, Rory Jennings.
You're listening to talkSPORT and this is the Rory Jennings Show. Now, before we get back to your calls, let's hear from two very angry managers. We're going to start from the Tottenham Hotspur manager, Thomas Frank, as he had his say after their late defeat to West Ham United earlier today.
I think it's no secret that we work very, very, very hard to try to get the results. I think we put some overall good performances in. Are they through the roof? No. Are they bad? No. Are they enough to get more points we got? Yes. And then when we don't get it, and especially with 2 late goals, especially the Bournemouth and this game, against West Ham, both of them could have won. I should have won second half. We didn't. And you lose second last minute. That's just tough.
Whilst across London, Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner didn't hold back when he spoke after his side's 2-1 defeat at Sunderland.
Difficult result, difficult for me to accept. Not because of the performance. I think 50-60 minutes performance was well. Not 15-20 minutes we were under pressure. We conceded a goal. Players tried everything until the end. They leaving their heart on the pitch, but we feel that we are being abandoned completely. And selling our captain one day before a Premier League game. No understanding. We're playing with 12-13 players from our original squad for weeks now, and that makes it so tough to accept this defeat because the players they give everything, and we had no substitution. I was looking on the bench, just kids there, and that's how it is. That's I think why we are where we are, and if your heart gets torn out twice a season, one day before a game, so with Eze in summer and with your captain now, I've just completely not understanding.
Powerful words there from Oliver Glasner. Really is powerful. Said that his heart has been ripped out twice. Firstly referring to Eze and secondly referring to Mark Gahey. It really has been a terrible 8-10 days for Crystal Palace. No wins in 10 games, and they were launched out of the FA Cup by Macclesfield FC last week. We're going to now speak to Crystal Palace fan Liam. Liam, you're live on talkSPORT. What is going on at Selhurst Park?
Hello mate, yeah, pretty mental couple of days really, well, since the Macclesfield game. I mean,
I mean, all that yesterday, and then today, yeah, just absolutely implosion, should we say.
This doesn't make sense. Did you predict this? Did you see this coming?
No. Look, I think it all stems back to, obviously, like, you know, winning the cup final, greatest day, obviously, in cup history, and the truth is, we didn't back in. I think the club deep down, they'll reflect on it and go, did we back in the best we can? The answer is definitely not in terms of incoming.
I think we may have just lost Liam, which is a real shame. It was very interesting to hear what he had to say there. I think the Crystal Palace perspective on everything going on at the club is a fascinating one. So we will try and get Liam back. But for now, let's change direction a touch and talk Tottenham. We're going to welcome Mark to the show. Mark, you're live on talkSPORT.
Hi, Rory, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, when the home fans are serenading the home manager with the line that you're getting sacked in the morning, it feels like the writing's on the wall, doesn't it?
Yeah, I last spoke to you in August off with one at City for 6 points out of 6, how times change. I think for me, the plan probably would have been to plod along till the summer. Hodge will be available then, you know, Tuchel, I'm not saying to get him, but, you know, he'll be available. There are probably, you know, more options in the summer. However, I think he'll keep his job this week. I think if we lose at Burnley next week, there's a real possibility we could be behind Bournemouth and Leeds. It's not inconceivable, I know people will laugh, but, you know, 10 point down to West Ham isn't insurmountable. And I just think we could, you know, be dragged into a potential relegation battle. You know, we sold Johnson, since then we've lost Benton, Court, Richarlison and Kudus. We've only made one signing. It's worrying times, if I'm honest with you.
What do you want to happen? What's your view on this from your perspective? Do you want Frank sacked?
It's really difficult. I don't hold him accountable. You know, ultimately, you can talk about tactics and managers and styles of play. You're only as good as your recruitment, and, you know, I know I'm banging the drum again, it's been 70 years and years, but, you know, we've been carried by Kane and for years. You know, our forward line, none of them are up to it. We've got a centre forward in Colin Moane, who, it's not as if he's, you know, I'm not saying he's got a bad record where he's got 3 in 10 or 4 in 20. He hasn't scored a single Premier League goal yet. It's now mid-January.
No, but it's really embarrassing for Frank. I mean, you can't insulate Frank from this altogether. You've got one win in 8.
Yeah, he's doing an atrocious job, but, you know, realistically, what we're going to do is just get, you know, an unfit caretaker to the end of the season. I think they need to sort of, like, if they're going to get rid of him, I think they need to go now and try and get a Maresca or a Xabi Alonso, move heaven and earth, not just appoint someone, you know, to the end of the season that the players don't respect, who isn't going to have much of a difference. I think you either just persist and hope for the best, or you go and get a top manager now, like a Maresca or a
do you know what though, Mark? And obviously I'm talking about this from my perspective, from the outside looking in. I think that I could have made quite a valiant defence of Thomas Frank. I think I could have spoken about the damage that Postecoglou did. I could have spoken about the fact that he was 17th in the league last year, and he came into a club that was ultimately failing despite having one glorious run. But this feels like a new low. Nobody loses to West Ham. Certainly nobody loses to West Ham at home. And the rivalry between the clubs, it's almost unforgivable to put in performances like you have done under Thomas Frank in derbies. When we played you, okay, it only finished 1-0, but we absolutely battered you 1-0 at the Lane. You just didn't turn up. You went to Arsenal where Barry scores a hat-trick again. You just don't turn up. And now you've been done by West Ham. That's Chelsea, Arsenal, West Ham United. Your biggest games of the season, and you're just not turning up. And that, from this manager's perspective, is just unforgivable.
I totally agree. I think the problem is, mate, we can't mount a coherent attack. Every goal we score seems to be from a set piece, whether it's, you know, a direct header from Romero or Van der Ven, or we scored a couple lately where Ben Davies and Palhinha have sort of got the end of balls in and out of the box at ricochet. I can't remember the last time we actually put a move together that resulted in a goal.
Yeah, but you know when you look at your attack, you know when you look at the players, like sometimes football can be a very complex game, can't it? And we talk about XG stats and pie charts and shapes and philosophies and whatever else. Other times, we can just look at the players and we can see. Like, you know, if you want to really understand why Tottenham aren't a very good side, you go, well, they've got one of the worst goalkeepers in the league. It feels... And do you know when it becomes really apparent when you look at the forward line? Like Odebear, so average. Xavi Simons, so average. Mateus Tel, so average. Kona Moani, so average. Bergvall, you all talk a great game about, but I don't really see it. Dominic Solanke, average. It just feels like so many of the players in a forward-thinking capacity at Tottenham are terrible. Realistically, what can Thomas Frank do about that?
You've hit the nail on the head, mate, and again, it's like the age-old argument. We stockpile these young players that we get for 20, 30 million, put them on low wages. Every now and then you get a jewel in the crown, like a Dele Alli or a Kyle Walker, albeit I'm going back, almost a decade of those two examples. But 9 times out of 10, they just amount to nothing. I'm totally with you. Everyone keeps going on about Bergvall. Like, he may well be a good player. He isn't ready to play centre midfield in the Premier League for us week in, week out yet. I've seen nothing from Archie Gray that suggests that he's going to be, good enough to play week in, week out. We're better off, as everybody knows, just making 1 or 2 signings in the summer, putting him on decent wages, rather than buying like 5 or 6 inadequate players for nothing and hoping one of them comes good.
Yeah, I think that was a great call there. I really appreciate your time, Mark. We're now going to cross and speak to Liam, the Crystal Palace fan. Liam, we're going to give it round 2. You're back on talkSPORT.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear me. Yeah. No, look, I've got to be honest. I think Glasner disgraced himself in the last 24 hours. I've got to be honest. Like, that's a man. Like, them comments, he clearly doesn't want to be here anymore. If I'm being honest, I think he's angling for a way out, but still trying to kind of come out of it, smelling the roses type thing, as if he's done all he can. You know what I mean? Like, just poor, like, them comments yesterday, like, that he's gone off script there, like, that wasn't, you can just tell that wasn't a pre-planned announcement from the chairman. It's just obvious, like, you don't end up, why would you announce that now, when we've just lost to Macclesfield, we're in the middle of a transfer window, we need players, as everyone knows, like, we're light, and then the manager's come out and done that. It's an amazing manager.
Like, what could Parish do? Like, this is the same situation. Like, when Ruben Amorim pressed the self-destruct button at Manchester United, or Enzo Maresca did exactly the same thing at Chelsea. Once a manager has spoken like this, you almost leave the chairman in this situation, Steve Parish, no option but to act.
Yeah, I would be absolutely gobsmacked if he's a still manager by tomorrow morning. Like, I don't see. Also, one of his comments today, he basically. Another thing, we didn't make a single substitution today, and I was at the game, and it looked like he didn't really try and win the game second half. I've got to be honest, like, he's putting a centre half up front when we've got a striker on the bench in Ucha, whether he's good enough or not, you've got a centre forward on your books. And then he's come over at full time and he got a bit sick. As I said, I think if he didn't say these comments, like, the whole fan base, we were fully behind this guy. Like, he's given us the best couple of years we've ever had. We're all behind him, but I think them comments have just.
What do you think the motivation was? Do you think that he, when he announced he was going to be leaving at the end of the season, did he hope that it was going to have a galvanising quality?
Well, I thought this, because obviously before today we'd known about a win anyway, so part of me was like, well, you know what, it'll go 1 or 2 ways. We'll just, on the way up to Sunderland today, I honestly thought we would lose 3-0 and completely roll over, and then it'd have to go anyway after that, because it's kind of like, like your message doesn't carry as much weight naturally, because he's obviously on his way out, isn't it, or he's announcing his leaving, or it would fully galvanise the team and the fans, and we'd go up here and win. And we didn't really, I say we rolled over, like, we didn't really, it was quite an even game, but as I said, I think we had a shot in the second half. So yeah, I personally think, look at his CV, everywhere he goes, he's a 2-year man, and the same thing's happening now, it's happening at Frankfurt, maybe happening at Wolfsburg, and he's obviously, he's a clever man, but, what I will say about him, it's one thing doing it at Crystal Palace, when you're the big dog and you deliver the trophies and stuff, I don't think he'll get the Man United job, but if he got the Man United job, he started doing all this.
Any thoughts on what's next for Palace, Liam? Obviously, you're in Europe, there's still a lot to play for this season. You won the FA Cup last year, you've obviously won the Charity Shield. What's next?
So, look, as I said, we've got, as you just rightly say, there's a lot to play for, like, so for me, the objective has to be to win that Conference League. We're favourites for a reason. I know we're in a bad spot at the moment, but, if
any Prem teams in that competition, I can win it, got to be honest, just due to the finances of it all. The objective has got to win that, and if he does leave, I don't think we can go down the interim route in terms of, not sorry, you can't like be a system or something. I think we have to go out there and actually get a manager, because it's still a good opportunity for someone. As I say, like, it's a Premier League job, you're in Europe, if someone comes in for the next 6 months, delivers that trophy, then
game on and you're in the Europa League the following year. That is a fantastic call there from Liam. Liam, really appreciate the time. Insightful stuff there on the perilous situation at Crystal Palace. Now, coming up next, we're going to hear from both managers from this evening's game at the City Ground, and keep your calls coming in to me on 03717 23344 to air your views on the Rory Jennings Phone Show on talkSPORT.
Michael, welcome back to Manchester United. What convinced the club you were the right man for the job? Your Premier League managerial experience? No. Was it your trophy record as a manager? Oh, no. Right, so, what do you bring? Well, I've got Fergie's phone number. United have found their new man, and you can find a completely free bet builder on this weekend's Manchester Derby with Paddy Power. Pretty much online bet builder. For this last match, we bet various from 50p to £50 per customer. T's and C's apply. 18 plus gambleware.org.
Sally, what was that sign called? That wise guy. No, what's a fugazi? No, Sally, the start with the prizes. That pies guy? No, Sally, not meat potato, the cars, 250 grand cat. That thighs guy? What's that? Sally, to win cars, tech and cash for as little as 2p per entry, just search That Prize Guy online. It's easy really, the hardest part is remembering the name. Over 18 only, no purchase necessary, see website for details.
That's it. We need a better car.
Smart speaker, what's an award-winning SUV?
The Tucson is an award-winning mid-size SUV and is available for a 24-hour test drive.
They look great. And it's a self-charging hybrid too.
Smart speaker, search offers on a Hyundai Tucson.
The Tucson is available with 2 years 0% APR. And it's Hyundai, by the way.
Discover the Hyundai Tucson self-charging hybrid. Ends 31st of March, 25% deposit finance subject to status. Hyundai UK is a credit broker, not a lender. Terms apply.
Something unexpected has arrived in Happy Meal. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Hello Kitty and friends are teaming up for the ultimate collab. Joining your little ones on a fun-fueled adventure. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until the 2nd of February, from 11 AM, includes one pre-selected book or toy while stocks last.
When your deodorant has been reduced to a tiny whisper and tries to tell you, I'm running on empty, I don't have much left to give. No need to worry, your new deodorant is already on its way, arriving today with Amazon Prime. Same-day delivery, it's on Prime. Geographic restrictions, cut-off times and T's and C's apply. Details on product page.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then his game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Play in a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boosts, T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus gambleware.org.
talkSPORT Weekend Sports Breakfast tomorrow morning from 6 on talkSPORT, the nation's football radiation commentation station. Booted up for breakfast. Host Dawn, digital dashboard. Weekend Sports Breakfast. Savannah Hearn and Tony Cascarino. Tomorrow morning from 6. talkSPORT. Be there for Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
With the Super Bowl just around the corner, talkSPORT is giving you and a friend the chance to experience it live. You've got till Thursday to enter for a chance to win tickets to the Super Bowl on Sunday the 8th of February. Return flights to San Francisco, 3 nights accommodation and spending money. In just a few weeks you could be soaking up the Super Bowl atmosphere and exploring San Francisco. Here is how to enter. For your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. That's 0343 418 7260. Lines close this Thursday, 2026 at 4 PM. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com.
Now let's hear from both managers after Arsenal's 0-0 draw against Nottingham Forest. We're going to start with Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta with talkSPORT's Chris Hunt.
Obviously disappointed because we wanted these 3 points, and that's the way we prepared the game and the way we tried from the beginning till the end. We haven't conceded a single shot. We created 4 big chances with Martinelli, 2 goals, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, and Mikel Merino. On top of that, there is a clear penalty that is not been given. And the rest is as well created to the opposition. That's how they make it difficult for you, how they change momentum in the game. And at the end we wanted to win it, and we haven't managed to do it.
You referenced a clear penalty there. Is that the Ola Aina handball at the edge of the penalty area?
Yeah, I don't think there was another one, so yes, it is different.
Yeah, so the Premier League saying that the ball was played off his shoulder first and his arm was also in a natural position, so you would disagree with that?
No, it is true that he plays with the shoulder, but then he brings the arm in to keep the ball inside the pitch, so it's a clear penalty.
Okay, in terms of the clinicality in front of goal today, something you've just referenced, is that a problem just today, or are you getting concerned that this is a trend over the course of this season?
No, because we scored 4 goals the game before, 3 the previous one, so no, but today, if you want to win games, you have to score goals, and against a team that is very hard to create. We had 4 big chances, and we should have put them away.
And Chris then spoke to Nottingham Forest boss Sean Dyche, who was happy with the point.
That was a performance of character, and then Debbie must be so proud of you boys.
Yeah, very pleased. Not easy against these sides. You know, a lot of good from the performance, a lot of the hard yards of a performance. Players have been terrific this week in training, feeding back to us, we're listening to us, and we find that nice balance to the group. And as you saw today, we've got a group who are totally committed to what we're trying to achieve here.
The 2 lads in the studio, Jason and Jamie, thought it would have been incredibly harsh, and they didn't think it was a penalty. Mikel obviously did. Fine lines and fine margins, but it would have been incredibly harsh for them to give that against you.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're trying to call these things fair. I think it'd be incredibly harsh. I don't like seeing them in football given against things. You know, there's not that much going against an nudge in the back. He falls forward, the ball hits his arm. He's not trying to sort of spin it on his hand, you know, to put it in his feet and kick it away. So I think that would have been incredibly harsh. I think we had a good shout for one ourselves, you know, which didn't go in our favour because you talk about Miller being for his foot to land in the box and it's on the line of the box and all that sort of stuff. But I don't think, overall, I think probably it's not give either, but it was a close call for Arsenal as well, I thought.
Final question from me. That's a terrific Arsenal side that you've got a point against. In your short tenure here at Forest, does that rank you as possibly the best point?
Well, I don't know, because we got time for them when it's 3-0. You know, we were excellent against Tottenham here, so there's different things going on, but that's a different kind of point, and you have to learn over the Premier League season how to get different points and wins. You know, and I've been speaking to the group about that, and so I was pleased with that performance to get a point against the top side. Thank you. Thank you.
Wise words there from Sean Dyche. That's it from me tonight, and as always, thank you so much to everybody who's called into the show. I will be back on Thanks Football. It's Friday next week, and don't forget Sam Matterface has all of the Sunday goals as they go in from 1:30 tomorrow. Before Majestic and Alan Pardew take your calls from 6:30 tomorrow evening. And if you love your NFL, we have live coverage of the 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks on talkSPORT 2 from 1 AM tomorrow morning. But coming up next, it's the best boxing show on the radio. It's Fight Night right here on talkSPORT.
What's you got here for us then, young eagle?
It's talkSPORT's live football, Governor. Where do you want it?
Bleeding hell, it's humongous! Right, second 110 live Premier League exclusives and no one over there with the 150 EFL fixtures.
Oh, geezer.
Platinum live community shields and super cups owned by the Virtue Trophy games. And I think, Egon, that's us done it. Hear over 500 games of live football on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
What's in this trailer, Governor?
Hells bells. It's another 100 2026 World Cup games.
Blimey, that.
Tell you what, shove a top on them and stick them in your brother's locker. Yeah. talkSPORT Superstar Breakfast.
We can't wait for work, man. You don't want to go. Because Brazil and Poland haven't finished their show. Pump the volume and make lots of noise. You're listening to the Breakfast Stable.
The original communication from the breakfast party animals. Alan Al Rock Brazil and Ray Party Paula.
on the talkSPORT Superstar Breakfast every Friday morning from 6.
Whoa, yeah.
The talkSPORT Superstar Breakfast.
Yabba dabba doo, it's the breakfast show for you. Light and easy, easy. Yabba dabba day, from the hospital on the tail of the freebies. Cheers, guys and girls. It's gonna till December 3rd. It's another special room. Oh, come. Sing the talkSPORT breakfast song. Sing it on.
Easiest sporting action in the morning. talkSPORT Superstar Breakfast.
Back tomorrow morning from 6
On talkSPORT. Young dinosaur. 3.
It's a new season. The fans are back, and so is Coral's free reward shaker with bigger football rewards. The half and half scarfers shaking decisively for once. They backed a super boost. Next to that, the prawn sandwich brigade. Oh, they've shaken up a free bet after that free lunch. Play Coral's free reward shaker to win bigger guaranteed daily rewards and offers this season. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus UK max one reward offer prepared today. 8 AM to 8 PM. Reward restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleware.org.
It might be cold outside, but things are really warming up at the Wren Winter Sale with red hot prices on our high quality, fully built kitchens and fitted bedrooms. Right now, there's up to 60% off fully built kitchens and all bedroom units. Plus up to 7 years interest-free credit. Made for making you feel warm inside, whatever the weather. Wren, made for living. Visit your nearest Wren showroom. Offers apply when you buy 5 or more kitchen units or 3 or more bedroom units. Finance subject to status and minimum spend.
They expect you to stay quiet, to swallow hidden fees, put up with faulty products, and accept poor service as just the way it is. But you can demand better. Stand up, speak up, because with Which on your side, you can say no to bad business, buy with confidence, and get the service you deserve. Which, the power in you. Find out more at which.co.uk.
It might be mid-winter, but there's nothing mid about this offer. The new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra brings every winter sport moment to life as crisp as freshly laid snow. With its stunning 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED display, razor-sharp resolution. But here's the real win. Claim £250 cashback. Conveniently available to spend in your Samsung wallet. Purchase before January 29th from a participating retailer. Claim on the Samsung website within 30 days of purchase. T's and C's apply.
I see you lurking down there. I know why you're here. My mum said you'd come, eventually. That you'd pick on either my dad or my uncles. That's what you do to old guys, right? Then with black men, you target them twice as much. Well, it's not right and it's not fair. And we're not going to let you get away with that. Not for one more second.
Prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men. It's about time we stood together against it. Prostate Cancer UK.
Hello, I'm a National Lottery scratch card. Over 5 people are speculating with me. That's like 30 winners since I started talking. What? 12 more? 14. 21!
Is the winning store for you? Play National Lottery Scratch Card today. Winners is an average set. 3 weeks place more rules apply. Play with VAT moreover.
79 and 1053 unite. Online, on your mobile, on the app, and on your smart speaker.
talkSPORT. talkSPORT.
Good evening, I'm Steve Forbes. Could we see a double departure in the top flight tonight? First, Oliver Glasner hit out at his employers, saying he feels completely abandoned after Palace's decision to sell Mark Gay, leaving him with a depleted squad.
I was looking on the bench, just kids there, and that's how it is. That's, I think, why we are where we are. And if your heart gets thrown out twice a season, one day before a game, so there's in some mind who's your captain now, just completely not understanding.
His comments came after defeat at Sunderland. Glasner's already said he won't be staying at Selhurst Park beyond the end of the season. More salt could be rubbed in his wounds. As we understand, Jean-Philippe Mateta's reps have held talks over a switch to Juventus. While it's understood Thomas Frank's Spurs future's in the balance after a late defeat at home to struggling West Ham, former midfielder talkSPORT's Jamie O'Hara says there's no way Frank can keep his job now.
He's got to go. I'm sorry. I like him. He's a nice fella, but he ain't good enough. He's not good enough for Man United. There's no philosophy. People get no team straight. That's it. I think he's something.
Elsewhere, more ground was lost in the title race as Man City was scored by Michael Carrick's United at Old Trafford. He says his side executed the game plan perfectly.
A lot of it was being compact as a team, as simple as that sounds, but certain movements that we were in, certain triggers that we were trying to press, little messages, and being positive, you know. We've got some good players, some really good players, and we're a good team when we did things right.
Arsenal remained 7 points clear despite a goalless draw at Forest. Liverpool were 2 held by Burnley, while there were wins for both Chelsea and Leeds. And further AFCON heartbreak for Mo Salah as Egypt missed out on 3rd place, losing to Nigeria on penalties. There's more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Sir Keir Starmer has described Donald Trump's threat to impose tariffs on countries opposing his plan to take over Greenland as completely wrong. And a body's been recovered in the search for a teenager who was swept into the sea off the East Yorkshire coast.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Come rain or shine, we've got your electric car covered with 400 EV ready centres, so you can drive away happy every time.
Being murky for most of the UK tonight, some clear spells across Northern Ireland and Scotland though.
Fight Night live online on DAB, on the app and on your smart TV. Suck in your guts and push out your fist. Fight Night live on talkSPORT. The ramble on the radio. Fighting is what we believe in. The UK's #1 live boxing broadcast. It's a live weekend. Fight Night live on talkSPORT.
Welcome to it. It is Saturday night on the radio. It is Fight Night right here on talkSPORT. I'm Catherine. Gareth Davies is alongside me. We've got an action-packed show lined up for you. The guest list is absolutely jam full. In the studio, Jimmy Stein is going to be with us, a man that has been built by Eddie Hearn as the Bermondsey Batavian. That's a big, big statement to make, but he's going to be in the studio for around about half an hour. Tell us all about himself and what is to come throughout the course of 2026. We're going to be speaking to Bilal Fawaz, who's got a hell of a fight on his hands with Ishmael Davis coming up. Ed Pereira's going to be here, the man from IBB, who has made some big announcements this week regarding wanting to put 150,000 people in one place to watch boxing at the same time. That was set a new world record, which currently stands for 135,000. We'll talk to him a little bit later on the show. And a man that has suffered a bit of disappointment this week, but I've no doubt the Stoke Army will be prepared to wait for a couple of months before he's back in the ring. Nathan Heaney is also going to be on the show. Lots to talk about, especially in the heavyweight division. And Zuffa Boxing gets going next week. They made a big signing, Jai Opataya, for Alan Shaking move from Dana White. If you want to get involved with the show, you can do 4377 22 33 44. This is Fight Night on talkSPORT. Now then, fresh from his winter break, catching a little bit of sunshine and getting that golden tan, Mr. Gareth Davies, welcome back to the studio. How are you?
I'm good. I think I remember saying goodbye to you in mid-December.
About 2 months ago.
About 2 months ago, disappearing to Miami a couple of times and then to the Far East. But over this period, it's been extraordinarily busy. I can't ever remember, like I said, I've had a bit of a winter break. Still been keeping my eye on things and working, but honestly, genuinely, Adam, I cannot remember in my lifetime in boxing, in all that time, 35 years, ever knowing a January quite like this, and then into February. It's extraordinary. There is so much going on, and it's going to be great to discuss it all tonight.
Yeah, January it really has hit the ground running. Of course, we've already experienced Dalton Smith becoming world champion, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on in the programme. He was with talkSPORT this week. It's a little bit disappointing, of course, with the Munster-Tama card on the 24th falling off, but let's not detract away from it, because on the 31st we've got a hell of a night of boxing where Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson are going to be fighting each other. Josh Kelly's going for world title honours, and Adam Azim is also back in action as well. And that is just boxing. Of course, we cover MMA, we cover bare knuckle, we cover the whole damn shebang on this particular show, and January is ram jam full. We haven't even got to February yet, and Nick Ball kicking off the month in style. All of which, by the way, is going to be on talkSPORT for you. We're going to be giving you a little bit of news regarding some exclusive commentaries that we've got coming up as well on the station.
Yeah, that January the 31st is quite extraordinary. I've opted to go to bare knuckle boxing BKB.
You're going to need 4 screens, mate. You're going to need 4 screens.
4 screens. Yeah. There's 4 world title fights that night on that card. and that's in Miami. If I wasn't there, I think I'd be at Shakur Stevenson and Tio Lopez. I mean, what a massive super fight in the first, month of the year. It's running. That is the fight that prizes open a new era in the sport in America, in my view.
Yeah, Teofimo Lopez with the opportunity to cement some legacy, as has Shakur Stevenson. But we wait and do his thing on the 31st of January. We're going to start by talking about Zuffa Boxing. This is the new project for Dana White in the world of boxing. They get underway next Friday night. Callum Walsh taking on Colson Campbell. That is their main event. They've announced a little bit of an undercard there as well. It's all taking place at the Apex, the new Meta Apex in Las Vegas. There'll be a limited crowd on show there. It's all to coincide with the launch of the new UFC project with Paramount Plus over in the United States of America. This is going to be on next Friday night. Before we talk about their upcoming schedule, which they've announced loosely over the next few weeks or so, the big news from Zuffa Boxing is that they have managed to acquire a world champion that is on most people's pound-for-pound list at the moment. He's the #1 cruiserweight in the world, the lineal, ring and IBF world cruiserweight champion in Jai Opetaia. Of course, Jai has his own promotional company that he works with Mick Francis in the Australasian part of the world with Tasman Promotions. Recently he's been working with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. But over the last 24 hours, it has been announced and confirmed by Zuffa and by Jai Opetaia on his own social media that going forward he will be working with Zuffa Boxing. What do you make of that announcement?
Yeah, it's a massive poaching moment, isn't it? And I think we're going to see many more of them. This is Dana White, Zuffa Boxing, TKO, Chuck Al-Sheikh, all deciding that we're going to show you what we're capable of. You're quite right to say they've taken the #1 cruiserweight in the world. He's capable of being a heavyweight. He's going to be a linchpin in their stable. Might be unpopular over here. I'm not sure whether positional management of his career at the moment, to say Mick Francis, I did reach out to him, I think it's 5:30 a.m. When I was on my way in, what do they put, disappearing messages that turned off overnight in Australia. Don't know where he stands at the moment with Spencer Brown, who was part management with him as well. But as Mick Francis says, of the CEO of Tasman Fighters, Jai belongs on the biggest stages against the biggest names. This partnership puts him exactly there. And as Jai is saying, I'm pumped for what's next. I want these big fights, but I'm ready to prove myself on the world stage. The fight's not announced yet when it will begin, but this is the beginning of a takeover of sorts by TKO, and they will be impressive. They are starting, as you say, in the Meta Apex, with 150 people in there, whatever it'll be. Chuck Al-Sheikh and his legion of followers that go everywhere with him. I'm sure they'll have those in there. There'll be invited guests. I'm sure there'll be a few celebs in there. It'll be a great occasion. They will be a very powerful force in boxing. There is no question about that. Very deep pockets from both of them. A deep understanding from Dana what boxing is all about. And I've been quite enjoying the Eddie Hearn calling out of Dana White that Dana seems quite befuddled by at the moment, and quite surprised. I don't know whether it's a smart move from Eddie. It may be a foolish move, because I think they will be working with certain people. The big question is, does that IBF belt matter anymore to Jai Opetaia when he fights on their card? Presumably he relinquishes it.
The reason why Gareth has brought that up, and let me just give you a little bit of background on this. There's a lot of questions, and luckily enough, I'm going to be in Las Vegas next week, so hopefully I'll get an opportunity to sit with Dana White and ask him some of these questions. But one thing that we can absolutely be certain about is that Zuffa Boxing, as it stands right now, even before they have done a show in the world of boxing, they have the biggest television deal with Paramount Plus. The majority of boxing that's shown in the United States is currently taking place on the Zone. Golden Boy Promotions don't have a deal at the moment. They're still negotiating whether they're going to be going back with the Zone. Top Rank don't have a television deal. BBC have got a loose thing with Amazon. Boxing, as we've explained on this show on many occasions over the last 12 months, In the United States of America, the audiences are massively disengaged. So Paramount Plus, which is very similar to, let's say, Sky Sports here in the UK, that is where Zuffa Boxing are going to be housing not only their boxing, but also their UFC products and various other products that they bring. So from a Jai Opetaia point of view, he's going to have a lot of eyeballs on him when he does compete. The big thing, you just highlighted it there. Dana White is on record saying that he is not going to recognise the alphabet sanctioning bodies as part of this project going forward. So that means the WBO, WBA, WBC and IBF, they are not going to be part of his plans. They have highlighted the Ring Magazine belt, which is a Turkey LLC.
As one would.
Well, okay. And they've also highlighted the fact that they will be integrating their own Zuffa belt for whatever that is worth. Now, that's the key point, I think, in this discussion, because when I was thinking about the Zuffa project, I was always thinking that it's going to be at a very low level, guys that are maybe not getting opportunities, that they can bring together for 50-50 fights, and they can build some new momentum, a different proposition away from the big shows. Signing Jai Opetaia is absolutely gigantic, because what is Jai Opetaia now going to do, as you rightly said? If the president of this company is saying we're not recognising the sanction body belt, what happens to his IBF belt now?
He will relinquish it. There's no question about that, because it has no resonance in what they're about to do. I mean, notwithstanding, my belief was they didn't need a Zuffa TKO belt. They could have just gone with the Ring Magazine belt. I'm on the Ring Magazine committee. It's a non-sanctioned, non-payable governing body of the belt, if you like. And it's voted on by a group of journalists, 35 journalists from around the world. And there's massive heritage going back over 100 years. So what's fascinating here is twofold for me, really. How the TKO belt resonates, the Zuffa belt resonates, how it grows, but also this other sideline to it, which is the new Paramount Plus deal, which is no pay-per-view, it's subscription-based. Right. Now, the UFC, for many years, were the kings of pay-per-view, weren't they? Yeah. Apart from the odd spike when there was a massive boxing event around Floyd Mayweather, around Manny Pacquiao, around, I don't know, Joe Calzaghe, Ricky Hatton, people that were Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Canelo, that had a popular front so that people came to them. I don't think the pay-per-view model is dead. I think it's there for very big fights. Now, if you can get Ryan Garcia against Conor Benn, I think that's a pay-per-view event still. People will pay when they're excited about something. People will pay when there's a lot of fire under an event. I don't think it's dead, but I think this paradigm shift, this experiment, is fascinating for the sport, because it brings that whole Netflix aspect in. It brings that whole, you mentioned Amazon. I think they will be competing with Paramount as well, with these big streaming apps to bring people on board. For example, when we just had, bless his heart, Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul, the new subscribers to Netflix, were they, let's say, 2 million, who paid a tenner to become subscribers, only brought them in a couple of 100 million. So, only, I say, it's not about the money, it's about the money. So the streaming services, Paramount has a huge reach, doesn't it? And it has multiple layers. So it's fascinating where we're going with this right now. And I think the fact that Dana White and the UFC have always shifted the paradigm, they've always moved things on. It's an $7 billion deal over the past 5 years, isn't it? Over 5 years. So they've got the funds, they've got Turkey Al Sheikh to be able to buy in the Jai Opetaias, to buy in any unhappy boxer. They can buy people out of contracts if they have to. That's why I think people should try and work with them rather than against them.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. Dana White does not want to do that. Look at the way that he's worked, obviously, as the UFC president. They didn't team up with anybody. When they got to a particular point in the business structure, they bought people out. That's what they did. They bought people's rosters and schedules and grew the UFC that way.
They bought entire organisations. That they bought.
But they bought WEC.
WEC, the World Extreme Cage Fighting Championships. They bought Bellator. They bought out the competitors. which is again a novel thing. It's a paradigm shift to become not a monopoly, but almost a single unitary
Well, that's what
powerful force.
Listen, if anybody thinks that they're not going to try and attempt to do that in the world of boxing, I think that you've got to be a little bit.
It's more complex to do that than
massively,
because I think it's going to be difficult.
Massively, because obviously there's conversations then in and around the Muhammad Ali Act over in the United States of America that kind of prohibits this thing, but there is reform legislation in place at the moment, which is currently going through Congress. It's a federal law. Now, this is the thing that I'm amazed by. Is it? I mean, it would be wonderful to be able to get hold of Jai Patel or maybe some of his team members to try and ask questions on this particular thing, because why have they made the decision at this stage to team with Dana White and protect him? They must have been told something. They must see something that maybe isn't out in the. They're
going to make him a fulcrum.
Yeah, but they're going to make him but think about this, right? Boxing, we don't. At this moment in time, there are still a lot of boxers out there that are obsessed with the alphabet belts, right? They fight for the IBF belt, they fight for the WBC belt. They still have goals and ambitions of trying to achieve those belts, right? Now, if Jai Patel is going down the line of I'm going to be a Zuffa fighter, Zuffa aren't going to recognise any of those things. I'm just going to be the number one, the lineal, the Ring Magazine champion. Now, for us as boxing aficionados and the majority of people that listen to this show that know what they're talking about, they'll go, well, Jai Patel is the number one guy. But how are you going to get people to fight him over there if they're connected to all these different sanctioning bodies? How are they going to get people over? Because Jai Patel in his own social media post today said, let's get the big fights over the line, unifications, undisputed. Well, that can't happen.
Okay, well, look, Gilberto Ramirez, the Golden Southpaw, should he beat David Benavidez and Chico Del Mayo, he's already got 2 of the belts, hasn't he, the WBA and the WBO. Anyone, money speaks in boxing. Of course. So if they want to relinquish the belts and go and have a big fight with Jai, if he wants to do that and have a fight with Jai Patel, if Chris Billum-Smith wants to go over there and have a fight with Jai Patel, if Brandon Glanton, Ilunga Mokabu, Mateusz Masternak, any of these guys, they can build him as one of their stars. He's got everything. He's an absolute monster as a fighter. He's a southpaw. He creates angles. He knocks people out. Everybody that talks about him, everyone that's been in a ring with him, everyone that's sat with him like we have, he has got something special. He has got the beast in him. And he's also got an Australian audience that they can leverage as well. And I was with the very first UFC events that went to Australia. 127 maybe. With Spitgate, Michael Bisping, Jorge Rivera. Spitgate it was called at the time, when Michael apparently spat him in at the end of the... he won't thank me for that, but they leveraged... Australia is an MMA country now, isn't it? Not boxing. Massive audiences, 50,000. Was Holly Holm and Ronda Rousey there? Yeah. That took place there, 55,000. He's got things that they can project. So he's got all the qualities. He came in here and the F-bomb went out 60 times, I think, on the Jim White and Simon Jordan show. They had to get him off the show in the end. He's got everything. He's got a great entourage, great people around him, and they can move into heavyweight as well. I like the moves. They've got Charles Martin and F.A. Jagba on an event coming up soon. Put him in against the winner of that heavyweight, you know? It's a great signing for them.
Well, it's absolutely seismic. Do not underestimate how big that is with Jai Patel signing for Zuffa this week. It's going to be really, really interesting to see now how this story starts to develop and how this new promotion in the world of boxing starts to move over the next 6 months, because it's starting to move quick. We're going to continue this conversation next. Don't go anywhere.
Michael, welcome back to Manchester United. What convinced the club you were the right man for the job? Your Premier League managerial experience?
No.
Was it your trophy record as a manager?
Well, no.
Right, so, what do you bring?
Well, I've got Fergie's phone number.
United have found their new man, and you can find a completely free bet builder on this weekend's Manchester derby with Paddy Power.
Pretty much online bet builder. Signing in Forex plus match free bet various from 50p to £50 per customer. T's and C's apply. Plus gamblerware.org.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And yes, we will build the wall.
The ladies not for turning.
He's going to be a
U-turn.
Well, the U-turn from Labour.
Speaker about the U-turn.
Times change, but for over 240 years, the Times and Sunday Times have been on the ground, delivering in-depth, trusted reporting, so you can understand what's really going on. Times change. The Times remains.
The UK's biggest used car sale is on right now at Arnold Clark, with over 20,000 used cars, all reduced. From Kia to Vauxhall, MG to Mazda, and everything in between. Whatever car you're looking for, you'll find a bargain at the real sale. It only happens once a year, and it's on right now. Visit arnoldclark.com to see why it's the biggest used car sale in the UK.
Hi, just leaving work now. Sorry it's a bit loud. Basically, so I was thinking we could get Mackey's tonight. Had a Big Mac on my mind all day, and delivery fee on the app is now from 90p. So, you in? Of course you are. Love you. Bye.
Exclusively on the McDonald's app. 18 plus. Service fee and small order fee may apply. Participating restaurants. Serving times and T's and C's apply.
3, 2, 1, it's on!
We're bursting to tell you something big. Your entertainment destination has landed, and it's bursting before your favourites. Say hello to TLC, full to the brim with The Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, and brand new Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. What I'm dreaming. And just to make it even sweeter, it's completely free. TLC, bursting with great telly, wherever you watch free TV.
Welcome back. It's a new season, and we're here at the Coral Fan Arena.
First up, it's the Bet Builders pricing up their picks. No calls and 12 guards? All right, have it your way. Oh, and it's a mid-game appearance from the in-play experts. Fingers poised, ready to back a late comeback. Even at 3-0 down, they still believe. It's the fans that make every season spectacular. Coral, we're here for it. 18 plus, T's and C's apply. GambleAware.org.
It's a Tuesday night Champions League Go Large Artois on the talkSPORT network from 5:45. Bono Glimt take on Manchester City on talkSPORT 2. From 8, Spurs face Dortmund on talkSPORT, with Inter Milan showdown with Arsenal on talkSPORT 2.
Tuesday night, the Champions League live
on the talkSPORT network.
Be there for Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
As well as five nights tonight, there's a big game going on in those playoffs in the NFL. Buffalo Bills about to take on the Denver Broncos.
Here you go, here you go, here you go.
It's
your NFL team.
Yeah.
You know who mine is?
What?
You know. Dan Marino.
You're 49? Are you? I'll see.
I'm either that or I'm a Miami Dolphin.
Okay. Right, stop.
You're not allowed two teams. Silver said he was Spurs and Tottenham. Do you remember?
You can't.
I said he was Spurs and Arsenal. You can't have two teams.
Yeah.
I'm a San Francisco player.
Super Bowl's coming up. It's on February the 8th. We'll give you the opportunity to experience this live. 3 nights in San Francisco, with spending money, flights all sorted as well. You could be soaking up the Super Bowl and exploring the Bay Area. It does sound incredibly good. All you've got to do is text the word WIN to 83338. It'll cost you £2.50 plus your standard network rate. You can call 0343 418 7260. Lines will close this Thursday at 4 o'clock. That's when you'll need to answer your phone. Ring, you've got to be over 18, UK residents only. It's a network promotion. Terms and conditions do apply. talkSPORT.com for more information on that. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Do it now. Good luck. And if you do win, I will come with you if you need someone to jump on the plane with you. All right. Now then, just to continue on the Zuffer thing, because obviously the big news is that Zuffer Boxing, Dana White, have signed Jai Opataya. They get their show on the road this Friday night. I'm going to be over in Las Vegas to have a little bit of a look around it. Yes, it's taking place at the Apex, which is a smaller venue than what maybe most people are used to, but I'm looking forward to some of the contests that we did put on. Yeah, okay, the names aren't necessarily absolutely gigantic, but they are very, very competitive. Callum Walsh versus Carlos Ocampo. People will be familiar with those names. He's moved up to middleweight. It's going to be interesting to see how Callum Walsh gets on with the extra £6 on. I'm looking forward to that. What have you made actually of? They've announced 3 cards, haven't they? 3 decks, should I say? They've given us Callum Walsh and Carlos Ocampo. We're still waiting for information on the week after, and then it will be February 14th for Effie and Jack against Charles Martin as a main event.
Well, I quite like Ajagba is, again, to mentioning sanctioning bodies, and I think he's ranked in the top 15 with 3 or 4 of them. A very decent fighter. He was being linked with the Moses Talma fight at one point, I think, a few months ago.
With a few was
Anthony Joshua.
The draw with Colin, was it?
He was. He's a big, powerful fighter. He's got a lot going for him. He's a worthy top 15. He's definitely a top 20 world fighter. Charles Martin I ran into at the Crawford-Canelo fight in September. Around his team, Frank Sanchez there as well. They've all been working together. Great opportunity for Charles Martin. Obviously, he's seen as the guy that was smashed up by Anthony Joshua to win the IBF title all those years ago. But he's kind of come back a little bit, Charles, and he's always great to speak to King Charles Martin, of course. Yeah, I think that's great. Jury's still out on Callum Walsh on how good he's going to be. I'm glad he's going up to. He was at light middle, but
154. He's up at 160.
Yeah, he looked too gaunt at 154, and I think he struggled at times. And there's a lot of pressure on him. He's Dana White's boy, isn't he? Yeah. So that he's gone from kind of cradle to manhood under the Zuffa banner, if you like. So yeah, listen, I'm not someone who sits and criticises cards. I'm not someone that sits and criticises the number of people in an arena. It's not my bag. It is what it is. But what I was fascinated to talk to you about, and we'll talk about San Francisco later on the iVisit boxing thing, because I spent a lot of time around there, is that I wonder how many UFC fighters who have got good great boxing skills, like the Spaniard stroke, Georgian stroke, Ilia Topuria, probably the best boxer in the UFC right now, whether they might do a crossover fight, whether they might get involved in super boxing as well as the UFC.
I hope not.
And why not?
Because they're two different sports. We have elite mixed martial artists, keep them in mixed martial arts. I think there's room here for some elite boxers to really get an opportunity.
You don't like the crossover, though,
no? But they've been done. We had a lot of fun with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, and since then I'm like, I know that we had the situation with Francis Ngannou coming into the world of boxing. I thought it was a bit of a circus, a bit of a no need for it. There were other fights that I would have much preferred to have watched. And I hope, listen, there's going to be people whose eyes will light up and they'll think to themselves there's an opportunity here because there's more work and more opportunity. But for me, no, I think there's really good martial artists that can get real good opportunity within the UFC. Some great matchups that absolutely should be getting made there. Legacy defining stuff. And I think that's exactly the same case in boxing.
But eyeballs, my friend.